Hey, welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be following our hero's journey to become worthy opponents of the evil Dread Lord Zargon. Tonight, we will be playing the first in a trilogy of quests that is going to close out our first book, The Coming Storm. Now that book is only 1 out of 14 in our campaign, which means we have more than 100 more quests before we will be sending a group of heroes to face off against Zargon himself. Tonight, we will be following a group of heroes to the southeastern quadrant of our map to an ancient fortress set into the southern peaks of the Black Mountains called Barak Tor. Barak Tor is the final resting place of one of Zargon's most feared lieutenants who was defeated in the First War many years ago. Barak Tor is also the last known whereabouts of the Empire's once savior Rogar the Barbarian. Our heroes are headed there tonight to find the Star of the West, an heirloom worn by Rogar. Justin Pollitt is here already, and he should probably be sleeping. Right? You got a crazy work schedule, my friend, and you got to get some sleep for that thing. So we'll see if he's hanging out for a while there. Much appreciated for tuning in, as always. As always, if you are hanging out in the stream, don't forget to throw something in the chat so that I know you're there. We always have lots of fun conversations in here, and I'm looking forward to getting into that tonight, as always. Oh yeah, not getting up yet. That's the way to go. Yes, indeed. If you have any suggestions or questions about lore or questions about game mechanics or even just want to chat, don't be afraid to throw something in there. It's always great to have some fun while we play. Don't forget that you can catch all previous episodes of Midnight Quest, including quests, painting streams, and now daily shorts. Edited by, of course, Justin Pollitt, who's here in the chat with us tonight. You can catch all of that on the Midnight Quest YouTube channel. I want to say a big thank you to all of our recent followers and subscribers on both platforms. The channel has been growing slowly but steadily, and that is hugely appreciated. Seriously, thank you all. If you are here and you haven't followed or subscribed, please consider doing so. Helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. We've got lots of really fun stuff to do playing Hero Quest in the next, probably forever. Because that's how long you play Hero Quest. Forever. Yeah. We are here playing Hero Quest basically every single night of the week and weekend. Every night except Thursday. So move everything you have going on in your life to Thursday nights because all the rest of the nights are for Hero Quest. That's right. Fridays, Saturdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays are quests, and Sundays and Wednesdays are for painting, and then Thursdays you can do whatever it is you do when you're alone at midnight. The rest of the time, we're here doing this. That's right. All right, we got some quests set up to do before we can really get playing tonight, so let's get that taken care of. Let me start the music. There we go. All right, quest's going to start as always with choosing the heroes that are going to go on tonight's quest. We currently have 11 heroes in our ranks. Only 4 heroes can go on each quest, so we are going to use these Beatles cards to randomly select 4 characters. These cards line up with a character randomizer sheet on the wall behind me. Now, I did do some restructuring before the stream tonight. Again, just checking to see how many quests most of our heroes have been on so that we can make sure we're trying to keep them generally even. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we want them to have gone on generally the same amount of quests. So let's see. The first hero tonight, the 3 of Diamonds, is our newest hero, Morkai Oran. Not only our newest hero, but one of the newest painted heroes by my wife Savannah, who paints here on Sundays and Wednesdays. Morkai is going to be the opening hero on our quest. Oh, Justin says they're starting the First Light quest book tomorrow. Nice! I need to read through that book again. That's a set of quests that I have never played. The 6 of Diamonds is Moonstone the Druid. Here she is. She is primed and dry brushed, but not painted yet. To be coming soon, for sure. If we have Moonstone, that also means that we need her shape-shifted form, a bear-esque creature that she can turn into. We'll go ahead and set that aside for now. Our third hero tonight, the 4 of Diamonds, we're just getting all the early diamonds, is Tiaga the Warlock. Awesome. Tiaga is also newly painted on stream. You can check that out. That's still here both on Twitch and over on our YouTube channel. This will be her first quest as a painted hero. Morkai's too. That'll be neat. That also means that we need her demon form, which is something she can transform into. Also newly painted. Awesome. Looking forward to using that. Set that aside. And finally, the last hero for tonight, the 5 of Hearts, is Rogar the Barbarian. Again, primed and dry brushed, but not yet painted, to be coming soon. So we have got an interesting party here tonight. Lots of magic users and one kind of hard hitter. That's good, because you kind of don't want nothing but magic users, so hopefully Rogar will be helping us out here. Okay, let's get our character sheets figured out here so we can take a look at the loadout. We can see if we need to visit the armory before we do anything. Let's see, Mordecai, Tiaga, Rogar, and Moonstone. Right. All right, let's see what we got here. Now we have 855 coins, so we've got plenty of coins to get something from the armory if we need it. Looks like Moonstone could do with a little bit of extra defense. Tiaga also could. Everybody else is doing pretty good on both defense, and everybody's doing all right with attack. What we want is a little bit more in the way of defense. Yeah. So Justin's oldest daughter got her first taste of Hero Quest earlier today. She played the original quest called The Trial, opened all but one room in the trial and ran away. Oh man. Did she manage to kill any monsters before they took her out? Oh, that's a rough introduction. Okay, I'm gonna grab my armory papers here. Okay, so we have a couple of tiers of armory. Now, nobody has unlocked the tier 2 armory yet, which is fine, because all the stuff in there is very expensive. But in our tier 1 armory, which is mostly stuff from just the regular Hero Quest. So the regular Hero Quest armory is this. Now, we made some changes, and I want to talk about this because I think we're going to need one. This is something that we discussed a couple of streams ago. Bohemius and I particularly were discussing me giving the magic-using heroes access to things like the helmet and the chainmail and things like that, which game-wise make it better, make it more balanced, but from a kind of a imagination perspective don't make a lot of sense. Oh, what's just said? She took out a few skeletons before she put herself in a corner trapped. Yeah, yep. The real rules are rough. Man, they have no mercy, especially in that first quest. Either Rescue of Sir Ragnar or... I don't remember what the quest 3 is called. The one with Ulag, the Orc Warlord. Are easier. Way easier than the trial. So anyway, back to what I was doing. So we were talking about the imagination not really working well. You're not likely to see a wizard wearing a metal helmet, right? And chainmail is maybe a little bit more believable, but I decided to make a change to my armory based on that because I thought some of the points that Bohemius was making made a lot of sense to me. So I've added a couple of things to the armory, and they are just alternate names to existing equipment. So the cost hasn't changed, the function hasn't changed. However, when you buy a helmet, you can now choose to call it a helmet or a Western leather hood. Now, in our game, in the West is a big desert where a lot of our wasteland variant monsters are from, so their hide would theoretically be really resistant to hits. So a Western leather hood would provide head armor without that person needing to wear a metal helmet, right? So I think I'm actually going to change out three of the people we're taking on this quest have a helmet and probably shouldn't. Mordecai should have that Western leather hood. And again, the function has not changed. The price also didn't change. It's a little bit more for our imagination. Our mind's eye and the imagination, which says that these characters probably aren't going to be wearing metal armor. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and change that out for Morkai, Moonstone, and Tiaga. Doesn't change anything about their stats. And we also changed out the chainmail for Western Leather Tunic. Same reason. Just, you know, you're not likely to see a magic user wearing metal armor. It just kind of fits the vibe a little better. Now, Morkai is the only one here that has something like that. He has chainmail. So let's switch him out to Western Leather Tunic. And we have enough gold, we can buy another set of that for either Moonstone or Tiaga. So I'll leave that up to you guys. Anybody who's watching right now, throw some votes in the chat. Who should get that? We only have enough gold for one. Are we going to give it to the Druid or the Warlock? And this is, we're going to call it the Western Leather Tunic, but for all intents and purposes, it's chainmail. It costs 500 coins. It's going to give them one extra defense dice. Put that away. I'll go ahead and subtract it from our gold total, because either way, it's going to cost the same. Put us down to 355. Justin says Druid. Any other votes? We got a couple other viewers, it looks like. Happy to give it to either one of them. They will both benefit. I'll go ahead and start passing out some potions too, and if we don't get anything else, we'll just go ahead and give it to Moonstone. Alright, Morkai doesn't have anything. Moonstone has a potion of healing and also the Elixir of Life artifact. Tiaga has the Talisman of Lore, which we don't really need to give her that card. Thraken has Boren's Armor, but again, we don't need to give him that card really. We're going in light on items. Okay, looks like no other votes. We'll go ahead and give Moonstone the Druid the defense here. So Western Leather Tunic, which again is just chainmail, is going to bump her up to 3 defense dice. Excellent. Okay, we need to take care of spells. Oh, I forgot to put all the rest of the papers away. Whoops. We got lots of spells going into this quest, so let me make sure that I'm going to get them right. Morkai just needs regular old spells. Moonstone needs the Druid spells, but she also gets a random normal spell. So she's going to get the 3 she always gets. Life Force, Pixie, and Shapeshift. We will cover what those do when and if she uses them. Tiaga just gets the 3 Warlock spells. Again, just the 3 normal ones. Fear, Dark Wings, and Demon Form, which we will cover if she needs them. And of course, Thraken doesn't get any sort of spells. Okay, all our normal spell stuff. In Hero Quest, there are 12 spells. I have a big old pile here of 6 copies each of those spells. We're going to break this pile into 4 smaller piles so that we can randomize which spells these characters get. This kind of adds an extra level of interest to what the magic users can do. It means they can get doubles of spells or triples of spells. It means they can get a bunch of really useful stuff or a bunch of garbage, and it really has a big effect on how they are able to affect what happens in the quest. Eventually, through skill set building, they will have access to different spells, to better spells, and also just kind of weird spells as well. So we haven't gotten there yet, but soon some characters are going to be reaching that point. There we go. What's Justin says, if I go silent because I fell asleep, I'll have the stream up the whole time. If I don't sleep at least 1 or 2 more hours, I'll have a 20-hour day ahead of me. Ooh, yeah, rough, dude, rough. Don't blame you one bit if you end up getting some more sleep. Okay, so Morkai needs 8 of these, and Moonstone needs 1. Now, since we drew Morkai first, we'll go ahead and do his. So we're going to randomize this by drawing some regular cards here. The suit will tell us which pile, and the number on the card, or in this case the letter, is going to tell us which card. So this is going to be pile number 2, card 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Tempest. Means he can freeze a monster in place for 1 turn. Our next card Pile 1, card 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is Veil of Mist. Means that he can move through monsters during his turn. Our third spell, pile 3, card 11. Lots of face cards at the top of the deck here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is Water of Healing. Is, as it sounds, a healing spell. Our fourth spell, pile 2, card 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another version of Tempest. I don't know why I said version. It's exactly the same thing. Next is pile number 4, card 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Heal Body is another healing spell. That's good because we do not have a whole lot of healing going in here. The Druid's got a couple of healing spells. And Moonstone also has a potion of healing, but it's good to have some extra. Pile number 3, card 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 is Fire of Wrath. It's kind of a low-level attack spell. A couple more spells for him. Justin says, oh, I meant to ask, what's the Mind stat do? I don't believe I've seen it used in my games yet. Yes, that's a good point. Not much. The main purpose of it is to give you a number that you can use to throw off spells like Sleep and Command and stuff. So you probably haven't encountered monsters with chaos spells yet, or dread spells. There are certain things they can do to negatively affect the heroes, and they will roll movement dice equal to their mind points to try and throw the spell off. There are also some monsters in some of the other expansions that attack mind points instead of body points. And then I think Avalon Hill has kind of changed, or maybe even Milton Bradley did this. I think the original idea was if you reach 0 mind points, you're dead. But they've kind of changed it to if you reach 0 mind points, you're in shock. And I don't remember exactly what that does, but I kept that rule. The in shock rule kind of worked out. We've got pile number 3, card number 5. But you're right, it doesn't come into play super often. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pass Through Rock. Does pretty much what it sounds like. I don't end up using this spell too often, but occasionally it comes in handy. And Mordekai's final spell is pile number 3, card number 2. 1 and 2 is another Fire of Wrath. So Mordecai is not going to be doing a whole lot in the way of attacking with his spells this time, it looks like. Okay, and then we need one more spell, the one for our Druid. Now normally she only gets the 3 Druid spells. Bohemius is here. Hey, how's it going, man? Normally she only gets the 3 Druid spells, but because she's built some skill sets, she now also gets one of these spells, just again, totally at random. So her one quote-unquote normal spell she gets is going to be pile 2, card 2, 1 and 2, is also Pass Through Rock. Okay. Okay. And we'll go ahead and clean up our spells. Savannah is here, and she wants to show off what she did in her last stream. So in case nobody was here during the painting stream on Sunday, she painted Valerna the elf. So here she is. Oh yeah, that's neat. You know what? I don't think I ever realized that her cape is feathers.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome. That is a tiny little headdress or headset or whatever in the world she's got.
Card. I've said that in the stream. On the card, it goes across her whole forehead, but
right.
In that, it's only in the center of her forehead.
Wild.
Yeah.
Bohemia says great.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. That is neat.
You need to hand me another one, just a random and the card.
Okay, let's.
I don't have enough over here.
You want Treyas the Wizard or Robert Tylan the Berserker? Let's go with Treyas. I've been excited to see him painted. There he is, and there's, again, this card is not his mini, but it's as close as you get. Yeah. All right, where was I? I've totally lost track. I need to kind of clean up our sheets here. I'm going to order these spells just kind of in the order that I would guess I'll use them. Obviously, there's no way to tell for sure, but I try to avoid drawing from the middle of the pile.
the other version of him, I had to paint those triangles and stuff at the bottom of his tunic. They're on this one.
Huh.
And the little moon symbol on the chest.
That's
it's
nice.
actually on this thing. That's cool. That's
Okay,
awesome.
I'm gonna go ahead and put Moonstone's Pass-Through Rock at the back of her pile. That's kind of a last resort spell for me. Not something I'm looking to use. Okay, so I think that pretty much does it for our setup. That means that we are ready to start. So let's get back the face cam so that we can read the quest text. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are tonight starting a trilogy of quests that will close out our first book here. Only the first book out of 14 though, so don't get any ideas that we're just about done with this whole thing. We have, geez, there's probably 150 something or more quests, maybe even 170 something in this first campaign. And this is only quest 13 total. It's only 12 out of the book, 13 total. We got plenty more quests to go. This is quest 12, Barak Tor, Barrow of the Witch Lord. A second war with Zargon has become inevitable. Attacks are becoming more frequent, and the Emperor needs to unite the kingdoms under a single banner for the conflict to come. To do this, he needs the Star of the West as worn by Rogar and the kings of legends and ages past. We believe the Star of the West lies in Barak Tor, the resting place of the evil Witch Lord. Rogar disappeared there several years ago. The Witch Lord was defeated by the magical Spirit Blade in the First War. You will be rewarded with 200 gold coins to be divided among you when the Star of the West is returned safely. So that's what we're doing. Lots of kind of danger involved in this. We're headed to what I've always pictured is a fortress sitting above a large graveyard. So yeah. Let's go back to the board so that we can take a look at where we're starting. Actually, we're starting on the other camera again because we are starting in this blue room down here in the corner. There we go. Let's get some stairs. Oh yeah, that one doesn't have a... Yeah. The other wizard mini does.
Yeah.
Our stairs. Oh no, we're gonna have to move our skeleton guy here. He's in the way of our stairs tile. Let's just flip-flop him. There we go. Stairs there, and a door. It actually should be on the corner. We'll move it a little bit. Doors on the corner don't work very good on the 3D map. All right, and then we have Morkai the Wizard, Moonstone the Druid, Tiaga the Warlock, and Thraken the Barbarian entering this quest. All right, let's waste no time. Morkai's first turn. He can search for traps, search for secret doors. Ooh, one moment. Just before we start, I've just suddenly realized in a panic, we don't have anybody that can disarm traps. That's bad news. Let's buy somebody a toolkit before we get started. That probably ought to be Thraken. Well, I don't know. It probably doesn't matter, actually. So Moonstone and Tiaga would both not be good for that because they might be in shapeshift or demon form, which they would lose if they took damage. So either Morkai or Thraken would be good for a toolkit here. Gosh, it's been so long since we've had a quest without either of our dwarf characters that I just almost didn't even think about it. So, okay, we'll just draw a card here. Morkai will be red, Thraken will be black. Black. Okay, so we're gonna buy Thraken a toolkit here real fast. I believe those are 250 coins. I'll look and make sure I'm not wrong about that. Yes, that is correct. So that's gonna put us down to 105 gold. Gosh, that was I would have been mad if I had started. I would have said it was too late to buy one. Justin says, did the dirt and carpet pieces you use with the furniture come with the game? My Milton Bradley version doesn't have them, and some of the furniture is a bit small even on the included board. No, I totally made those, dude. Which classes are playing today? Bohemius, we've got a wizard, a druid, a warlock, and a barbarian. Yeah, yes, Justin. So the Avalon Hill furniture is a fairly appropriate size for the Avalon Hill board, but this 3D board is quite a bit bigger even than the Avalon Hill board. And the furniture looks absolutely ridiculous on it. So I actually had the carpet and the dirt specially printed onto playing cards essentially, because the playing card like perfectly takes up the amount of space that the furniture is supposed to. So it works to kind of block off those squares, and then the furniture can just sit on top of it. But no, those are custom. Okay, so now, now that I've actually prepared, let's get this thing started. Mordecai can search for traps, search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave the room. And he is going to search for traps. That is one smart wizard. There are no traps in that room, but you should absolutely always search.
Quick question for you. Does he seem like a blonde? Blonde hair? He's a blonde on the card, but this thing.
No.
Brown, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'd say, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, second action. Search for secret doors, search for treasure, leave the room. He is leaving the room. Direct your attention to the bottom left of the screen, where you will find a dice cam where you can not only track what is going on in the quest, but keep me on track if I happen to see something wrong. Mordecai just got a 10. And again, the heroes can exit the staircase onto any square. He doesn't have to exit on one that is directly adjacent to him, so he can go here. I mean, guess that he really could exit directly there. Let's just do that. 1. And he is going to open this door so that we can take a peek down this hallway. The first thing we see is a wall right here on the corner. And I'm messing up my pile of skulls right there. Now this hallway does pretty much go down the entire side. So let's take a look at what's going on there. We got a wall here too. There we go. We had a real crooked wall. And nothing else. As far as he can see, that is it. Now, is he going to stop right there since the hallway hasn't been searched for traps, or is he going to just go ahead and walk out there? He's going to go ahead and walk out there. He searched the room for traps, but then he was like, that's enough. We don't need any more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nothing happens. Bohemia says the barbarian can disarm traps running through them with a mind check he can avoid to go head first. Yes! Yeah. And it does seem like a very barbarian thing to do, to just run right through them, doesn't it? That is for sure. I've been thinking, this is a big discussion, so I don't want to distract myself too far, but I've been thinking really hard about introducing some sort of personality trait thing that can apply to all of our heroes here. And I've got an idea of how it's going to work, but what I need is kind of a list of possible traits that could apply to people, and I think this will help give these characters more personality so that they're less pieces of plastic on a board and more characters that we actually kind of care about. And also, when we reach a point that the equipment here can facilitate in-person guests or even remote guests, this also gives the players something to think about when they're playing the characters. If they get with the sheet, the character and all their stuff, they also get kind of a list of, this is how this character normally acts, so that they can role play as the character a little bit. And I think that would be a really cool, but I also desperately don't want to overcomplicate everything. So I'm trying to toe the line there on that. So Bohemius, if you have any ideas on that, that would be super appreciated. I'm sure you'd have some really good insight on that sort of stuff. And we've got our first spam chat for the night. You guys know the drill. If you've been feeling like your computers don't have enough viruses recently, you can hit that link right there. Fix you right up. All right, our druid. What do we have left? Secret doors, treasure, or leave the room? Secret doors is what she is searching for, and she finds a nothing. Not a 1, because only Grimina finds those secret doors. And for her second action, treasure or leave, or shapeshift. I forgot to include shapeshift. Yeah, treasure, leave, or shapeshift. she's gonna go leave. 11. She's leaving very quickly. 1, 2. Now is she gonna stop and search for traps? Yes, now again, she doesn't actually have the action to do it, but she's not gonna walk out there yet. Although, she does know that all those steps that Mordecai took are not trapped, so we could go ahead and move her on those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll stop her there.
Oh, you're playing with the quiz.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ooh, Justin says, in D&D and Daggerheart, during combat, I have players describe their attacks that kill monsters. It's pretty fun. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I do a little bit of that, at least talking about the weapon they swing and that sort of stuff. But I'm thinking it would be really easy to sway my card randomization to include extra, we could double weight things that work with their personality. Like, for example, with Grimina, we've kind of established that she likes to search for secret doors. So when we're doing her randomization, we could do, 2 of the options are search for secret door. Gives her a little bit more likelihood to follow that thing that's her personality, if you will. The stuff like that, I think, would be neat. Tiaga the Warlock. Search for treasure, leave, or cast demon form. She is casting demon form. She does tend to do that pretty early when we give her the opportunity. So she is going to go ahead and cast her demon form spell, which allows her to ignore pit traps and also roll an extra attack dice for both close and long range attacks. She can lose this spell if she gets hit, but it's really easy for her to get it back. I'm just realizing right now that I forgot to get the character cards for the heroes tonight. One moment. There's Mordecai. Where is everybody? There's Tiaga, there's Thraken, and there's Moonstone. Okay. Okay, and that means that Tiaga is changing over into the big old demon form, which that mini just loves to stand in corners. Yes. Now it'd be real dumb for her to search for treasure now, because if it's a trap, she's going to immediately lose that demon form. So here's her options now: search for treasure or leave. And she's gonna leave. Probably a smart way to go. 1, 2, and 3. Bohemia says, do you mean a modifier to change the AI algorithm that governs your characters, or some kind of ability? No, the first thing. So it would just change the way we are drawing cards, essentially, for what they do. So it wouldn't give them any special boon or anything. It would just mean that they're more likely to do the thing that their personality indicates. Like this character is always going to search for traps, or that sort of thing. They really like to find traps. They really like to find secret doors, or they really like to search for treasure. Stuff like this character is more likely to do close combat, and unless there's no other option, or this character is likely to use a bow instead of close combat. This character is likely to use magic. Those sorts of things, so that we can start to give them a little bit of personality beyond just, total randomization. Okay, finally, Thraken. Now, there is essentially no need to come back to this room, so somebody needs to search us for treasure, and he's the only one left standing in here. So we're going to force him a treasure search before he moves. Let's see what Thraken finds. A skeleton lies crumbling against a wall, its ankle still chained to the floor. Clutched in the remains of its hands is 15 gold coins. It's pretty on brand for this place. Puts us up to 120. You can do a redraw for an action they don't like to do. Yeah, true. True. And I feel like their personality traits could be fluid in that way too. Being that we're not relying on any sort of computer system and we're doing it, if we say, let's just say, for example, that Thraken likes to search for treasure, and we decide that's one of his personality traits, what I would do with that is, when it's his turn, if searching for treasure an option, we would double weight that. So he could search for traps, search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave. So it gives him an extra high chance to do that thing that's his personality trait. But also, I feel like if he is not doing that, despite the fact that it's double weighted, if he is like really often quest after quest not searching for treasure, we could change that personality trait. So because we're constantly in charge of it, we can let the characters kind of evolve their own ideas too, which is kind of a weird idea. Justin says, I can't wait to get my friends over to play. Yeah. Gets more and more exciting, that's for sure. Thraken is going to move now with his second action, now that there's nothing left to do there. And he really is moving too, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now he could go 9, 10, 11, 12, but we don't know yet about these spaces if they're trapped. Okay, and he is going to stop. But that right there, that's another thing that we could have on the personality. How cautious is this player? Are we like really cautious? Probably never going to step on a square that they haven't searched for traps, or not cautious at all, like a berserker or a barbarian probably would be. I don't care about traps, I'm just bounding forward, that sort of stuff. And not only would that affect how we do it, normally, but again, if I have guests playing, whether it's in person or remote, then you would kind of have an idea of how to act as the character as well. Introduces a small role-playing thing, still not quite D&D level, or at least some D&D that I've heard of, where the characters, the people that are playing are literally talking like the character, and we're not doing any sort of thing like that, but gives them a little bit more. Okie dokie, that is us back to Mordecai the Wizard right there at the front of the party. This hallway has not been searched for anything. So Mordecai, are we searching for traps, searching for secret doors, or moving? He is, King is a redraw. He's going to search for traps. All right, this whole hallway from this square here all the way up to the corner there, no traps. Mordecai, secret doors or move? He's going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll go ahead and put him 8 there, so we can also go ahead and see down that top hallway. Ooh, Justin's got a big comment there. Let me do what I'm doing here, and then I'll read that real fast. Let's poke our way up to this top hallway so we can see what's going on up there. We have a wall right here. We got a door right there. And another door even closer. Mordecai doesn't have any more movement or any other actions. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, there's something weird with the square that he is standing on, but we don't do anything with it yet. Hey, Merlin's here. How's it going, Merlin? Hope you're doing good. Justin says, when you are playing with people and you are Zargon, do you have the players help move monsters? I found myself walking around the table a lot to deal with setting up rooms and moving monsters. Yeah, I've always done it myself, but yeah, it does often involve having to walk around whatever space you're in. That's one thing that we found with this 3D board too, because obviously the 3D board spaces are 1.5 inches. Whereas the Avalon Hill spaces are only 1 inch. I'm not sure what the Milton Bradley spaces are, but they're definitely smaller than an inch. And so this, having the 3D board kind of introduced a big, well, you just saw me, I had to reach like just about as far as my arm would let me reach to get Merlin on the corner of the board there. It's a little bit of a pain, but I can reach. There are also a lot more tall walls that go with this 3D board. Now, I bought 2 of the 3D boards, and one thing that when Merlin and I were playing, we discovered was that when the tall walls are up, it's really hard to see at the other end. So me sitting here, seeing anything that's going on in this hallway is like impossible. So we made sure that we grabbed all of the short walls that we could find, and Savannah painted those. And so we use pretty much exclusively short walls so that you can actually see what's going on the board. We will eventually have quests that use 2 boards, which is why I bought 2 of those. Now, I think they're designed to be played in 2 parts, but I always liked the idea of having 2 boards set up, and that's going to be a logistical nightmare for our setup here, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when we get to that, because the other board isn't painted either. The other board's not painted, and do we have enough cameras to film 2 boards? Are going to be some interesting logistical questions that we will wait until we're getting close to those quests to answer. Okay, moving on here. Moonstone the Druid is next. She is right here. We're not on camera, so you guys can't see what I'm pointing at. There we go. She's at the front here. Her options: search for secret doors, cast shapeshift, move. She is going to cast shapeshift. Very similar to Tiaga's demon form spell. Here we go. Shapeshift grants you 1 extra defense dice and 1 extra attack dice, close range only. The spell is broken as soon as you suffer 1 body point of damage. She can also get this back, but only if she heals herself back up to full health. So we are going to swap her out with the bear. I don't remember, Merlin, when you and I have played this, we weren't actually swapping her mini out. Am I remembering that right? Or did you ever use this bear mini? I don't think we were swapping out the Warlock for the demon form either, actually. I might be remembering that wrong. Second action, secret doors or move. She's moving. Yeah, 12. She's really moving. We never did. That's what I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is she gonna stop? She doesn't have the action to search for traps, but we don't know about that far hallway yet. Yes, she is gonna stop. She doesn't actually have the actions to do it, but she's not gonna walk out there yet. We didn't swap either of them. Okay, that's what I thought, but I couldn't remember. All right, I've gone ahead and rolled the dice for Tiaga's demon form back here. I guess we didn't actually determine she was gonna move yet. I was getting a little ahead of myself there. Secret doors or move. She's gonna do the secret door search. And there are actually no secret doors in this long hallway. This is just a real long walk. And then she's gonna move. We've already rolled the dice for her, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have Rogar the Barbarian. There's nothing left in this hallway to do but move. Oh my gosh. I accidentally threw the dice. And let me switch my other camera. The dice flew off the tower and hit the Tiaga mini and just knocked her straight over. We accidentally killed Tiaga. Pick her up there. There we go. Oh no. Savannah says she's super dead. All right, Rogar the Barbarian is moving along 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not much he can do there. Nothing he can do with the second action. Still no monsters on the board. That puts us back to Mordecai. Gosh, yes, I forgot his name there. I'm terrible with names, whether they're fake names or real people's names. I need to empty my trash can. But not at the moment. Now's not trash time, it's Hero Quest time. Mordecai, what are we doing in this hallway? Trapped, secret doors, or move? He's gonna do traps. Again, very smart searching there. No traps in this hallway from his position to that wall right there. No traps in there. Second action, secret doors or move? He's gonna move. I kind of wish he had done secret doors there. Oh, he's not moving very fast. Okay, 1, 2. He didn't reach a door, so he's not opening anything. I'm looking forward to having some guests playing. I'm still thinking about how to make the remote thing work. I need what I really need to do, because there is an obvious inspiration for that. Bohemius is part of the Hero Quest fans channel, and if I'm correct, and Bohemius, you can correct me if I'm wrong about this. Pretty much everything they do is remote guests controlling the heroes. So what I need to do is hang out in a bunch of those streams to see how they do it. So that would work. But we should be able to do in-person guests, which would be great for Merlin, be great for Justin Pollitt, get you guys down here to play. And Justin actually lent me some stuff of his that should help us along the way, as long as my computer can handle a bunch more camera feeds. But I'm excited for that. All right, Druid. She is right here on the corner. Now my big dumb face is kind of blocking her, but she'll move onto camera, so we won't adjust anything just yet. Is she gonna search the hallway for secret doors? We're talking about this hallway here, or is she moving? She's just gonna move. That's fine, because honestly, where would a secret door go? It would have to lead into one of the rooms we can already get into. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, are we gonna let her go in that door, or is she gonna go in the next one? She's gonna go in that one. Okay, she opens the door into this brown room. There are no further doors in this room. What there is, however, is a deep mummy. And that is not really a fun monster to run into. Mummies are already kind of difficult. But this guy is a deep mummy. Not painted yet, but those guys are going to look really cool, I bet, when we get that far. Deep monsters are monsters from the deepest part of the tunnels. They are mostly blind, but you have to hit hard if you want to survive down there, so deep monsters attack really hard. All right, Moonstone, what are we doing? She still has her second action left. Is she going to walk in there to attack the mummy, or is she going to search for traps from her current position? She's going to search for traps. Not a bad idea, but I do kind of wish she would have attacked it. Justin says, so sleeping instead happening. Guess I'll just lay here until 2. Too bad I can't fight. I could be Batman with how little I sleep. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I bet nobody's ever seen you and Batman in the same place. I mean, I know people say that joke a lot, but it is true. Oh, we had a running in joke with a building that we rented for a long time here in town. My sister lived with us at that time, and that building had a really bad problem with bats. And every time we had a bat, my sister named that bat Bruce. I mean, every time we had a bat, she named it Bruce. Okie dokie, where are we at? Tiaga, yes, she is not on camera. She is back here. There she is. Get down the hallway, Tiaga. We could use some demon form. Gosh, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's 2 turns in a row. She's only gone 4. Okay. Rogar the Barbarian also getting a move on down that hallway, except the dice didn't land very good. There we go. Yeah, now he's moving okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, he's got a weird thing going on here. What can we do with him? We need to, let's shift him onto camera a little bit more, because he could go into that room to fight that mummy, which would not be a bad thing. But is that what he wants to do? Excuse me. Is that what he wants to do? I'd say that deep mummy is a pretty big threat. That's probably a smart idea for him to do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3. He'll take the risk of a trap being on that first space. Luckily, there isn't one. What's he got? Broadsword? Surely. Yes, indeed. Zargon swings his broadsword, hitting the deep mummy with a 1. Oh, Zargon, you got to hit that guy harder than that. The mummy doesn't defend the attack. Okay. I stand corrected. Oh, that's right. We knew there wasn't a trap on that space. She searched for traps. Deep mummies. Attack with 4, defend with 4, 2 body points. Yes. Bohemia says correct, but remote in the way we play is extremely slow, and sometimes we get lost in conversations, but we have fun anyway. Oh yeah, that's the way to go. Justin says you can't rush these things. It's a dangerous dungeon. Got to be careful. That's exactly right. Getting lost in conversations with friends is definitely not a bad thing. Okay, so let's move on to monster's turn. So we've got this deep mummy now, who's going to be attacking back. And as I said, deep monsters attack a little harder than normal monsters. So the deep mummy throws a fist at Zargon, hitting him with a 1. What's his defense looking like? Oh yeah, he's got Born's armor. He's got very good defense. Except I shouldn't have said that because he didn't block the 1. Dang it. Okay, luckily Thraken's built his constitution a little bit, so that only took him down to 10 body points, but still, it's a good thing that wasn't a harder hit. 4 defense dice and not a single white shield. Get out of here. Okay, back to the front. We have Morkai the wizard who is standing in the hallway there. Is he going to come down to help with that room, or is he going to go over to that red room? Let's see what he's doing. He's going to the red room. That's pretty all right. There's 2 heroes already facing into there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Morkai opens the door into the red room. Let me move the camera just a little bit. In this red room, we have another door right here. And we have, wow, a not small amount of monsters. 2 skeletons. Here we go. Got a skeleton here, and a skeleton here, and also 2 zombies. All right, I gotta get this can out of my way. All right. So we got a good old-fashioned Milton Bradley zombie here that we've seen a bunch of times before, but we also have the neat translucent Spirit Queen's Torment zombie as well. This translucency will eventually be painted away, I'm afraid. But that's okay, because I'm going to like the paint job a little bit better than the translucence, I think. All right, Morkai, what are we doing? Are we attacking? Are we spelling? Or are we searching for traps? He is going to do some sort of attack. Is he... what kind of options does he have? Fire of Wrath's not a bad option here. Is he walking in there to hit? Is he firing with his wand? Or is he casting a spell? He's going to fire with his wand. Okay. He's also got 3 potential targets there. He's going to fire at the translucent zombie. Morkai was like, I don't like how you talked up that monster right there, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that one first. Fires a blast with his wand, hits it with a critical hit of 2. Boy, he really wasn't screwing around. The zombie doesn't defend a single thing. Yeah, seriously. And that's going to be his turn taken care of. Okay, we are now at the druid who is standing in the doorway over there. Might as well be heading in there to help Thraken out with that mummy. Now, Moonstone only benefits from her extra attack dice if she's close range, so let's get her in there. 1, 2, oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. I just tried to move her through the mummy. She can't do that. Here we go. And because she is in her shapeshifted form, she gets 1 extra attack dice. She swings her claws at the deep mummy. Wow, hitting it with 3. We're getting nothing but skulls now all of a sudden. The deep mummy does not defend. Out he goes. Justin says, is it weird that I like the unpainted figures? I'm thinking about getting an extra set so I can have both painted and unpainted. No, I think that makes sense to me. I've probably talked about this on the channel before. I'm so glad that Savannah was good at this because I didn't want to paint them. I knew I wasn't going to be good at it, and quite frankly, I also didn't care that much if they were painted. But I've, for a long time, and Merlin can attest to this too, I've had an idea to do something online with HeroQuest for a long time. And I was stuck on YouTube, like more produced YouTube episodes for a long time before I determined that Twitch was going to be immeasurably easier. But I was super worried that nobody would care about watching stuff with unpainted minis. So yeah, we looked into paying some people to do it, and they very understandably wanted a lot of money to do it because it's a lot of minis with a lot of detail. And then she tried her hand at it, and thank God, turned out to be really, really good at it. But yeah, I like them unpainted. I was just worried that it would not make for interesting TV, if you will. Justin says, I want painted heroes and painted boss enemies, but regular enemies can stay unpainted. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I get it. I got a pretty active imagination, so I can picture them painted even if they aren't. Let's see, what did Moonstone do? She moved and then attacked. Okay, so she's done. Tiaga, is she even on camera? No, she is hanging way back. Here she is. Come on, you're the scariest party member, and you're hanging back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She still didn't make it there. Now I'll tell you what, since she's looking into this hallway, she can search for secret doors. There aren't any, but we'll go ahead and do that. Finally, we have Rogar the Barbarian, who is standing there in that wooden room. We need to search secret doors or treasure or leave. He is going to do secret doors first. There are no secret doors in that room, so that room is pretty much a dead end. Second action, treasure or leave. He's going to leave. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now here's a weird question. He could totally use himself as a human shield here, but would that benefit? He has way better defense than Mordecai does. Nah, no, I don't think he's going to do that. Mordecai opened the door. It's kind of his fault if he gets attacked. Zargon doesn't have now if he had an attack left, if he had an action left to attack, sure, I'd have him jump in there. But, nah. Okay, that leaves us with the monster's turn, and the only monsters we have on the board are the ones that are just off camera here. Those 2 skeletons and that 1 zombie. Let's see which one of those monsters is coming for Mordecai. It's going to be this skeleton. 1, 2. The skeleton swings its scythe at the wizard, hitting him with a 1. Now, thanks to our extra defense stuff, Mordecai's not doing too bad with defense, but he still doesn't block the attack. Gets hit, dropping him to 9 body points. Alright, now unfortunately the monsters can't move through heroes, so that is the end of the monster's turn. Mordecai successfully bottlenecked them there at the door. This takes us back to Mordecai himself, who now has a few options. He could attack that guy with his wooden staff or cast one of his Fire of Wrath spells at it. I think either one of those things would be pretty appropriate. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to hit it with his staff. He's not feeling the magic quite yet. Mordecai swings his staff, hitting the skeleton with a 1. It does not defend. Out it goes. Okay, couple of smart options for his second action. He could go ahead and search that room for traps so that other heroes could go ahead and go in there. That would probably be good. He could also cast his Fire of Wrath spell on that zombie. Either one of those I think would be a pretty good option, but I'm leaning a little bit more towards traps being the smarter thing. Let's go ahead and card this. Red for traps, black for Fire of Wrath spell. He's doing traps. The cards agreed with me, I guess. There are no traps in that room, but now they know for sure. Moonstone the Druid is the only one left in that wooden room, and there's nobody else that needs to go in there, so we need to force a treasure search before she leaves. Let's hope it's not a trap. She finds a potion of healing. That's not bad. She really is the healer of the group. She's got most of the healing spells and now all of the healing potions, including an elixir of life, too. She's the one to come to. Okie dokie, she's gonna go ahead and move out of the room there then, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again, it would be kind of dumb for her to go in there unless we're guaranteed the other heroes are. We know Zargon will, but we don't want her to get attacked on purpose, because she'll lose that spell. Tiaga, Demon Form Warlock, over here still. Is she gonna get over here and contribute at some point this quest? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She can't get over there. Okay, well, she's up there with the group at least. Nothing else she can do on this turn, though, so Zargon is going to go ahead and go in there. 1, 2, and hopefully just take care of this zombie in 1 hit. Zargon swings his broadsword, hitting the zombie with a 2. The zombie does not defend. The dice are being very kind to the heroes, or at least the attack dice are. Being very kind to the heroes so far this quest. Let's hope it stays that way. Justin says, after playing with more casual RPG players, I've determined the bottleneck strategy some people complain about is a non-issue. Both Xavier and Sarah Didn't like to utilize the board itself to create advantages. I think that's a veteran player issue. Probably so. Probably so. I think it helps a lot to have a whole cast of people playing. When you have one person control all four of the heroes, especially if they've played a lot, the bottleneck thing starts to really become a problem. Something that I found is that when you have one player controlling everybody, it starts to not be an issue to just skip heroes' turns entirely, which I don't think would happen very much, if at all, if you actually had, 5 players with one as Zargon and then one player for each hero. They're already sitting around waiting on their turn. They're not going to skip their turn when it finally comes to them, unless there's literally nothing they can do. So that's a weird thing too. So I think that having 4 players would actually solve, or well, 5 players if you count the DM, would solve that also. HeroQuest also came up with a really interesting solution to that. In the Rise of the Dreadmoon expansion, which I'm not using in this, they introduced monsters called Spectres, which can just move through walls. So you can't bottleneck those guys. They'll just move straight through you and attack you anyway. I'm working on finding a way to get those guys into the second campaign. Monster's turn. This skeleton here can attack Zargon. I'll go ahead and move it up there. The skeleton swings its scythe at the barbarian, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. But the barbarian blocks, thanks to Born's armor, no doubt. I got an interesting lore question. I'll point it out when we get there. We're not quite there yet. But this quest has one of the most interesting lore implications, I think, in this first book that was never officially answered that I know of in HeroQuest. All right, Mordecai, who might as well fire from his current position so he can shoot at that skeleton through Zargon. We're just going to go ahead and pretend that he yells move. Mordecai fires a blast of energy with his wand, hitting the skeleton with a 1. The skeleton does not block. There we go. That leaves him his second action to either move through the room or search for secret doors. He's going to search for secret doors. There are none in that room. Bohemia says ranged monsters help on the bottleneck and spellcasters the cultists. Yes, you're absolutely correct. And that's something I recently introduced. The orc archers and the goblin archers and the skeleton archers. I hadn't been using them. And then recently I went ahead and started putting them into the quest just exactly for that. The cultists, my plan at the moment is that they're going to be a big issue for the second campaign. Obviously, if at the end of the first campaign, if the heroes do defeat Zargon, we have to come up with a new big bad, and I'm thinking anyway now that those cultists might be giving a good opportunity for that. Okay, that was Mordecai's turn. Moonstone the Druid. What's she gonna do? We need her to move into the room. The question is she gonna stop and search, or is she just gonna keep on moving? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Does she stop here and search for treasure? No, she does not. 6, so she's gonna go ahead and open this door into this blue room. And in the blue room, we have one additional door right here. Now, she does still have her second action left, so we know she chose not to search for treasure in the red room, so for the blue room, she could search for traps or secret doors from her current location, and she is going to do secret doors, which is kind of funny because there is one. There is also a door here. Justin says, the trial, it's almost necessary to utilize bottleneck. They throw really strong monsters at you. There's like 3 Chaos Warriors, 2 or 3 mummies, and a gargoyle. You almost have to cheese it a bit. Yeah, totally. That's been a really common, I guess, complaint, at least in the Facebook groups for HeroQuest that I'm in. A lot of people complain that the trial was too hard for a first quest. And I think that's why HeroQuest, or Avalon Hill rather, introduced at least one quest that's meant to go before the trial. And of course, then the EU version of the game has that quest, the Maze, that's also before the trial. That's also why I put a quest in there. I took, what was the Avalon Hill like special online quest? Might have been called New Beginnings, and I adapted that into a first quest, which I named the trial instead of calling it New Beginnings. And then I renamed the trial Felmarg's Tomb, but you know, it gives the heroes like a tiny chance to get geared up at least a little bit before they're thrown into that quest. Yeah. Spider?
I think.
Savannah just jumped out of her skin just about.
No, maybe not.
New Beginnings, yes. What's the other one I'm thinking of, Bohemius? Is it Rogar's Hall? Is that one also meant to take place before the first book? Because I think I repurposed that one too, but not here. I repurposed it later on. I don't remember which one I repurposed into the trial, but I'm pretty sure it was New Beginnings.
That wasn't a spider, but I don't know what it was either.
No spider. I almost had a spider crawl onto my hand at the studio today when I was at work. And I jumped out of my skin, and then I remembered to let it outside.
Yeah,
but
don't be a psychopath.
don't be a sociopath. you gotta let it outside. Luckily, we were already outside, so it was no big deal. I didn't kill it. Pangy Penguin will be happy to hear. No spider deaths tonight. No. Yet. Oh crap! I've lost where we are. Where are we? That was Moonstone. Okay, so we are at Tiaga the Warlock, who has waited until all the monsters are dead to come up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and being that she's only made it into the room, we might as well let her do the treasure search. And if it's a trap and she loses her demon form, it will serve her right. Let's see what she finds. She finds a potion of strength. All right, not too bad. We'll mark that on her character sheet. Rogar the Barbarian. Nothing left to do in that room but move, so let's get into that blue room and see what we can do there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this blue room has only been searched for secret doors, so we need to stop him right here and see what he's going to do. Search for traps, search for treasure, or just keep on moving. He is going to keep on moving, so theoretically he's headed to one of those doors, but which one? He's going to go to that upper one. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Luckily none of those squares were trapped. I also just realized that there is also, on this monster's turn, a great rumbling sound, and the heroes have no idea what's going on, but when the rumbling stops, Mordecai checks back down the hallway here to find that the tunnel has collapsed, putting a wall right there in the corner, blocking their way back to the stairs. Scary. Dragon's gonna open the door and check out into this new hallway, since now they've got to find a way out. And out in this new hallway, we see a couple of walls, which is why there's a second door there going the other way. Now he doesn't have any movement left, and he hasn't done any sort of searching yet. So he can actually search either this blue room for something or that hallway for something. So he could do traps in the room, treasure in the room, traps in the hallway, excuse me, secret doors in the hallway. Okay, and for some reason, he's doing secret doors in the hallway. Whatever, Thraken. All right, so we've got a weird area for this. Let me switch cameras here so that we can see this part of the board over here. There is a weird area that we are going to allow this search to affect. Now, I might have done this differently if he had searched for traps first, but we'll just go ahead and do this. So we have all the walls we need, this little short double wide, these two squares, and all the way down to the corner there, no secret doors. Well, Bohemia says Rogar's Hall is meant to be the trial on steroids, kind of like a repeatable quest for training. That makes sense for Rogar's Hall. I tried to repurpose most of their online quests. I don't think I used Into the Frozen Northlands. I downloaded it, but again, I'd already completed my campaign by that point, so that might again be campaign or put into campaign 2 somewhere. Adding extra quests messes with the total number of skill set points that the party can get, which throws off the balance of everything. Okay, no monsters on the board. We're not even pointed at anybody. Here we are. Which means we are back to Mordecai, and we are totally searched out here until that blue room, so he needs to at least get into there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What's he gonna do? Traps in the blue room, treasure in the blue room, or keep moving? He's gonna do treasure in the blue room. Let's see what he finds. A wandering monster. Oh, Mordecai. What is it in this quest? Oh, it's just a skeleton. Okay, you got lucky. Skeletons push over. This is the third to last quest in this book. You'd think the wandering monster would be something a little harder than a skeleton, but there it is. There we go. The skeleton immediately swings its scythe at Mordecai, hitting him with a 1. Mordecai blocks the attack, just barely. Alright, that was his turn, so we are now at the druid. She can get in there and help with that skeleton. It'd be kind of embarrassing if she can't get rid of it. 1, 2, 3. Moonstone throws her claws at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1, which it does not block. Bohemia says the items in Into the Northlands are meant to be used to balance Frozen Horror's high difficulty. That makes sense. Especially if the group of heroes are new. I know that they were concerned about that. People bringing new heroes into Frozen Horror and then everybody dies on every quest. Yeah, yes. And that difficulty is no joke. I assume Merlin is still in here. I don't know if he is, but yeah. Merlin and I played through Frozen Horror. It's probably been a year ago, or maybe even 2 years ago now. But that was the first time he had a hero die, was in that. And we were playing through my campaign, and Frozen Horror, I think, is book 8 out of 14. So he had gone a long time very carefully and strategically keeping his heroes alive. And in Frozen Horror, that did not matter. I think he had 2 heroes die in Frozen Horror. All right, that was Moonstone. So we are at Tiaga, the Warlock. Still nobody searched for traps in the blue room. We just about stepped on every relevant square. 1, 2, 3. Actually, is she gonna stop here at 2? Is she gonna stop and search for traps in there? No, she is not. Okay, there's nothing else to do in there if she's not gonna search for traps except go through one of the doors. So is she gonna go into the one that Thraken opened, or is she gonna go open the other one? She's gonna open the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means we've now stepped on every relevant square. She opens this door. We can pretty much see what's going on down in this area. I'll move the camera here just a little bit. There is another door right here, which I'll put down since I was holding the door in my hand already. And there is a wall here and here. So it's a pretty short area there. Let's see, now she was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's got one more movement. Is she gonna go out into the hall or not? She is gonna search this little area for traps. So this tiny little area that we just revealed here, no traps. Almost kind of surprisingly. And finally, Thraken the Barbarian. All right, Thraken, are we gonna search for traps before we walk out there? Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the same earlier described area. So this let me switch cameras. This 2 wide hallway, these 2 squares, and all the way down to the corner. There are 3 traps. They are all spear traps. So it's not a big deal. 1, 2, and 3. Now Thraken does have that toolkit, but spear traps are kind of weird. Spear traps are the basic trap. When you step on one, you have the same odds of jumping out of the way of it as you would disarming it. So it's almost silly to try and disarm them unless you're a dwarf. I'm gonna reshuffle my randomizer deck here. There we go. Okay, and then let's go ahead and move him out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll just kind of brute force. Oh, I forgot to mention too, there are a couple of doors out here. Now he wouldn't have seen those searching for traps, which is why I didn't put them down before. But now that he's actually standing out here, we can put these doors in. Okay, we're just gonna brute force him through these traps. So he's stepped on that spear trap. Does he get hit by it, or does he jump out of the way? He gets hit by it. Okay. Like I said, 50-50 chance of jumping out of the way. Same exact thing as the 50-50 chance to disarm it, unless you're a dwarf. And then you got a better than 50-50 chance. So, not a big deal. He's got plenty of body points. This drops him to 9. Okay, no monsters on the board, which means we are back to Mordecai the Wizard in the blue room. There he is right there. So is he going to go with Thraken, or is he going to go out that other door where Tiaga is? He's going to go with Tiaga. And he is moving 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We know there's no traps out there, so we will go ahead and devote this camera to where they are going. He's going to go ahead and open this door. In our new room, we have another door right here. There is a table in here, so I'm going to go ahead and put down my carpet card. And we'll grab ourselves a table. There is also in this room a zombie. Okay. Zombie hanging out right here. Okay, Mordecai, what are we doing here? Are you going to stop and search for traps? Yes, he is. There are, surprisingly, no traps in that central room. Okie dokie, Moonstone the Druid back up here. I think we're going to go ahead and have her go with Thraken, because Tiaga opened the door, so she's probably going to be coming out here. So we'll split the heroes into a couple of groups here. We'll send Moonstone out there with Thraken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we've moved her off camera. There we go, there she is up there. And yeah, everything has already been searched in this, so there's nothing more for her to do. Okay, coming back down here to Tiaga the Warlock. She can also head out into that hallway and into that room. Yeah, she's finally got a decent roll there, so let's get her up to that zombie. We know there's no traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now Tiaga gets an extra attack dice regardless of whether she's close or long range. That puts her up to 3. So Tiaga swings a clawed fist at the zombie. Wow, hitting it with a critical hit of 3, which it does not block. Now there's an interesting thing with this. This was the lore thing that I was talking about earlier, so I'll be curious to get your guys' opinion on this. Now again, this is something that, as far as I know, HeroQuest has never answered. However, the story goes out of its way to talk about Rogar the Barbarian, him being the original savior of the Empire during the first conflict with Zargon. He disappeared here in Barak Tor. Nobody knows what happens to him. And I'm going to spoil this because we're about to find it out anyway. When they search for treasure in this room, they find the Star of the West, which is the thing they were looking for. And I don't remember if I mentioned this or if this was, might have been in the original book. It's mentioned that the Star of the West was clutched in this zombie's hand. This zombie that they just killed. So is this zombie meant to be Rogar? Or was Rogar's body just around here somewhere and this zombie just saw the Star of the West and grabbed it? I think it would be kind of a curious, interesting thing for this zombie to be Rogar. Although, if that were true, then maybe it ought to have boss stats. It ought to have some harder stats than just a regular zombie. Be a little bit harder to kill, more scary. But I've always wondered that, because they, as far as I know, they never have confirmed that, really. Rogar the Barbarian, moving on here. Up into the hallway. He's gonna brute force another trap here. 1, 2, does he jump out of the way of the spear trap? Yes, he does. Now he has the movement, so we'll go ahead and allow him to jump forward here. And he is going to open this door, or at least he would, except it's a false door, and it does not open. So, no door opening for you, I'm afraid, Dragon. We'll just go ahead and end his turn right there. No monsters on the board. We are back to Mordecai the Wizard, hanging out right here. Is he going to search for secret doors where he's at? Yes, he is. He's going to search for secret doors in that central room, and indeed there is one right up here in the corner. Is this on camera? Yeah. Again, kind of an awkward placement for a door because of this wall here. There's not really anywhere else we could put it. I guess, you know what? I might edit and actually put it... is it any different there? No, maybe we'll put it here. Let's do that instead. We'll put that corner back, just because it looks kind of bad when it's on the corner like that. There we go. All right, Mordecai, are you... There's really no point in him being the one to search for treasure, because Tiaga can do that. So pretty much, which door is he going to go through when he's moving into the room? Okay, so he's going to be headed for this door here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Opening this door out into this hallway, we can see quite a good bit of what's going on here. So we can see this part of the hallway here, and there's nothing more to put in. And of course, he can also see down this hallway, so he can see the wall that's there just off camera. There we go. He can also see a door into this room right here. He does still have a little bit of movement left, but is he going to stop here for the sake of trap searching? No, he is not. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which direction is he going to go? Is he going to go this way or down? He's going to actually go down. Yes, 7 and 8. So now he can also see this hallway right here. Let me get that on camera there. So what he can see here is a couple more doors. Okay, he does not have a second action. He spent his other action searching for secret doors in the central room, so that's all he's got right now. So let's jump back up to Moonstone the Druid, who is right there. Now she should not brute force a trap, because if it hits her, she loses that shapeshift, but she can walk up to it anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we'll just stop her right there. Demon Form Warlock. Here we go. Tiaga's going to go ahead and search for treasure in this room, and as I mentioned before, the treasure in this room is the Star of the West, which is what they came here to find. Now, unfortunately, they still have to find a way out of here, since that trap triggered earlier and blocked them in. Just make sure there's nothing special. Not yet. Nope. I included a quest note here asking, is this Rogar? Hard to say. Then she can move. I think we're just going to have her follow Mordecai. 1, 2, but is she going to stop and search for traps? Yes, she is. Okay, now we have 2 different areas that she is adjacent to here. Is she searching for traps in this area, or is she searching for traps down that hallway? two different areas there. We're gonna say red for where Mordecai is, black for down that hallway. Okay, she's got red. So she's searching for traps essentially in the hallway that surrounds the central room. Here we go. As per usual, I'm going to reveal any other wall that affect this trap search. There is also a wall right here. So from this corner, down and around and up to that wall that I just placed, there is only one trap. There is a pit trap here in the corner. Okay, and that takes us to Thraken the Barbarian. Up here, he can go ahead and brute force that last spear trap. We'll see what he gets after that. 1, 2. Does he jump it? No, he does not. It hits him. Okay. Here we go. That drops him to 8 points. Now, real quick, I want to review something. I think I might have reviewed this once before, but for some reason this information will not stay in my brain. Probably because I've changed so much stuff. With a spear trap, does that mean he has to just stop his turn right there? Or can he keep moving even though it hit him? I feel like he should have to stop there. Okay, the hero must roll 1 combat die. If the result is a shield of either color, the hero has successfully jumped out of the way of the spear. They may stay on the trap square or continue their move. If the result is a skull, they lose 1 body point and must end their turn on the trap square. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so that's him done. Now, theoretically, he could take his second action, but there's nothing else left to do. He can't reach the door to open it. They've already searched this hallway for everything, so that is it. Surprisingly, again, no monsters on the board, so we are back to Mordecai the Wizard. Now, we got a weird thing here, because unless there's a door here, which he can't see at the moment, or a secret door somewhere in this hallway, there's no reason to be down here. So, are we going to search for secret doors or move? He's gonna move. Okay, maybe should have double weighted the secret door thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now, if there were a door there, we would have to put it down, but there isn't one. So I do feel like we should force a secret door search now, revealing that there are none. This whole hallway is essentially a waste of time. Okay, moving up to the druid. Now there's nothing else to worry about trap-wise, so let's get her over to that door. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, that is another false door, and she cannot open it. So they're not finding good stuff up there in this quest. All right, we'll be back for Thraken here in a minute. Let's jump back down here so we can do Tiaga. They now know that moving down this hallway here is really the only way to go. So let's get her over to that door. 1, 2, 3, 4. Opening the door here. What have we got? Okay, couple doors. We've got a door here. We got another door in the corner. You are having all sorts of issues over there. Ugh. No fun. And also in this room is a deep skeleton. So same kind of thing here. Deep monsters attack hard but move slow. So not the sort of thing you would necessarily want to run into. Tiaga, are we going to stop here and search for traps or stop here and fire at that skeleton? She is going to search for traps in this small room, and there are none. Back up here to Thraken. Here he is. They now know that both of those doors are wasted time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 means that he can now see down this hallway here. What we're gonna put down in this hallway is a wall and a door. But is it a fake door? Has this whole hallway been a waste of time Or will all of this work and trap stuff pay off? Thraken, are we going to stop here and search for traps? No. Excuse me. He was... crud. He was standing on that last spear trap, which was here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that stops him right there. Now, he doesn't have a second action, so he absolutely... Gohan's here! Sorry to stop literally in the middle of a sentence. Gohan, good to see you, man. Okay, what are we doing here? He can search either traps or secret doors, and he's going for secret doors. Gohan called it. There are no secret doors in this hallway. However, I don't know if you've been here for a minute, Gohan, before you've said anything, but they have actually found 2 secret doors in this quest so far. Bohemia says, I don't think the zombie is Rogar. He was the ruler of the Borderlands after he won the war against Zargon and the Witch Lord. He probably lost the Star of the West in battle, or it was stolen after his natural death of old age. Interesting. This is a good point. Now, I'll admit I do not remember if I added this or if it's in the original quest book, but I think it mentions that he disappeared in Barak Tor. You know what? I hate to get too distracted, but I've got the quest book here. I'm curious if that's something I added or if it was in there already. Except I've got literally every quest book up here, so digging through them to find the right one is proving to be a little more difficult than I thought. Here we go. Okay, yes, now the actual quest text here does not mention that. Is it in the rule book that he talks about Rogar? Must be in the rule book, because it's definitely not here. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that I added that, but apparently I did. Let's check the rule book here, because there's a little bit, he talks about the First War and Rogar and stuff in a little aside here in the rule book too, which I missed for a long time. Here we go. Yep. Okay, no. Nope, sure doesn't say anything about him disappearing in Barak Tor. Alright, I didn't think I added that, but I must have. I must have just assumed that if the Star of the West was here, then he also was. But I didn't know that. I don't think I'd ever heard that he had become the ruler of the Borderlands and all of that stuff. Is that in like Warhammer lore? Because I had never read that before. That's really cool. Okay, and just as I knew I would, I've lost my place before I got distracted. That was Thraken that just moved down there, so we must be at the monster's turn. So that means that we need to jump back to the other camera so that we can take a look at this deep skeleton that Tiaga found. How many do deep skeletons move? Because deep monsters are slow. They don't move much. 1, 2 is all he gets. So he does not, that skeleton does not actually reach Tiaga. All right, and that is going to bring us back to Morkai the Wizard, who is right over here and needs to head back to where Tiaga's at. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I always kind of liked the idea of, lore-wise, that the Witch Lord was not reawakened by the heroes, but that the Witch Lord reawakened and Rogar got word of that something wasn't right, and so he traveled here to find out what was going on and was immediately overpowered, and that's why the Star of the West was here. I kind of liked that sort of implication, but it's never outright said. Morkai was done there, so we need to go up here to Moonstone, who's up by that door. Let's get her moving here. 1, 2, 3. Is she gonna stop and search for traps? Yes, she is. Smart idea, Druid. Smart idea, because indeed there is a pit trap right here, near to that door. Okay, coming back down here, we are now at Tiaga, who can fire off some energy at that skeleton. Being in her demon form, she's a little bit stronger. Tiaga fires off energy at the deep skeleton, hitting it with a 2, which it does not defend. Out it goes. Which leaves her open to either search for secret doors or walk into the room, essentially. She's gonna walk into the room. Which door is she headed for? She is headed for the door on the left. Which, 1, 2, 3, she is gonna go ahead and open in our new room here. There is another door in the corner. There is a tomb. So we'll go ahead and put a dirt floor down. We haven't had a tomb out for a while. We're gonna go ahead and skip one here, and we're gonna get out the fancy Mage of the Mirror tomb, which is just a little bit bigger. And it's been a while since we've seen one of these on the show, but these do actually open in the Avalon Hill version, which is neat. There's nothing in there, but it's cool that they thought to do that. Yes. In this room is also 2 deep zombies. And most unfortunate of all, in the back corner is the Witch Lord himself, one of Zargon's most feared lieutenants, thought to be defeated in the First War by the Spirit Blade. The Witch Lord is here in the corner. This is the tomb of the Witch Lord. The Witch Lord will appear when the first hero enters the room. You have broken the magic seal that kept the Witch Lord imprisoned. Now he has awoken and you must run. Only the Spirit Blade can harm him. Gohan says he looks a little pale. Yeah, yes he does. Yeah, he is not doing too good. Yeah, so we have a big problem now in the quest because they do have what they came for. They do not have a way out, and they've just triggered a monster that cannot be killed by any weapon that they currently possess. So they're gonna have a big problem now. Gohan says, manifest a secret door. Yes, concentrate all of your collective energies into them finding some sort of secret door out of here.
If Gramina was here, this never would have happened.
Yes. Savannah says, if Gramina were here, this never would have happened. Oh man, oh go ahead, you missed the quest on Tuesday night. He says facts in all caps. On Tuesday night, Gramina went on a quest, and she was searching for secret doors all over the place. Again, randomizing her actions every turn, but it seemed like most of the time we turned a card, she was searching for secret doors. I think she found one. Yeah. But even when we were doing the live stream, we kept saying, "Where's Gohan? Gramina's here, and she's searching for secret doors. She needs a cheerleader." All right, so what she got? She doesn't have an action to do anything else. It would be silly to walk in there. So I guess we're just gonna go ahead and end that right there. So let's go back up to Thraken the Barbarian. Gohan says Gramina's just gonna Kool-Aid Man a wall. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Thraken the Barbarian, the strongest of the 4 heroes that we took on the quest tonight, is almost in the opposite corner of the board where he cannot help very much. He is headed towards that door right there. So I suppose let's take him over there. Now, him trying to disarm this pit trap would be smart. He still has the same chance of disarming it or falling in it, but unlike a spear trap, this doesn't disappear from the board when it's triggered. So he should try and get rid of this. 1, 2, and 3. And we'll go ahead and have him pull out his toolkit so that he can attempt to disarm this pit trap. If it's a shield of either color, he is successful. It is. Hey, look at that. That's lucky. So he actually managed to stick some boards across that hole in the floor so that nobody would fall in them. That, however, does take up both his actions. It is the monster's turn. Bohemia says, awaken, awaken, awaken. Take the land that must be taken. Awaken, awaken, awaken. Devour worlds, smite forsaken. Yes. Oh, yeah. Too true. And now we're about to see some bad stuff here. So we've got a couple of those deep zombies there. Those guys probably only move 2, don't they? Deep zombies only move 2, yes. So we'll go ahead and force this one because the other one won't reach her. The deep zombie swings its sword at Tiaga, hitting her with a 1. However, she's only got 2 defense. She does block the attack. Good, she would have lost her demon form if she hadn't. And also, the Witch Lord. Now, the Witch Lord can't do much. He is for sure weakened. He's not at full strength. Let's see, what can he do? He can only move 1 space per turn. He can roll 2 attack dice if he's close range. But he also knows some dread spells, which we're going to definitely start. So first off, let's go ahead and move him his 1 square. And then we have here the dread spells that he knows. He knows 4 of them for this first quest. And he is going to go ahead and cast one on Tiaga now. So I'm going to draw a card, and the suit will determine which one of these spells we're using. We're going to use spell number 2. There we go. Which is Fear. That definitely could have been worse. It's probably the least bad one that he knows. This spell causes any one hero to become so fearful that they may only use 1 attack dice. The spell can be broken on a future turn by the hero rolling 1 movement dice for each of their mind points. If a 6 is rolled, the spell is broken. I don't know if Justin Pollitt is asleep or not. He was saying that he might fall asleep, but there's a spell that uses the mind points you were asking about earlier. Okay, so she can't even try to break the spell until her turn next. But when it's her turn, we are going to need 6 movement dice. Let's go ahead and grab those in anticipation of rolling for her to break that fear spell. I think we're just going to grab some Avalon Hill red dice. I've definitely got 6 of those here. There we go. Stick those aside for when it's her turn. Excuse me, so she can break those. Hopefully break that spell. Yeah, honestly, that could have been way worse. All right, heroes. We got a problem. Mordecai, get over there and help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. He is in the room, but there is not much he can do. He can go ahead and search this little room for secret doors, and there are none. But he can't really see any of the monsters to be of much help yet at the moment. Okay, let me readjust this camera while we're here. There we go. Okay, back up here, Moonstone is in the corner of the map. She's almost off camera there, but we're about to move her closer on camera. She got as good a roll as she could. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She attempts to open the door, but unfortunately this is also a false door, meaning that this entire hallway has been a waste of time. And now they are going to be potentially trapped with the Witch Lord coming after them. Ouch. Now, remember, opening a door, or even attempting to open a door, is not an action, which means she still has the rest of her movement, because they need to be getting back over here so that they can try and find their way out. So how many did she move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll go ahead and let her move back up the hallway, and then we'll be back to move Thraken that same way. So all those traps that he tanked, for nothing. The pit trap that he disarmed, for nothing. This hallway was a massive distraction. Gohan says, run! Yes! Tiaga, it is her turn. So first off, let's roll for her to try and break the fear spell. She has 6 mind points. She's a pretty smart warlock. So we're going to roll all 6 of these dice into the dice tray. So check out the dice camera there in the bottom left. If any of these is a 6, then she has broken the spell. Oh, look at that. Like the first dice we rolled was a 6. There you go. Okay. Tiaga can't be taken over so easily. Which is okay, because again, that was not the worst spell the Witch Lord has at his disposal, even here when he is not at full power. Okay, with that, she is immediately going to try and get rid of this deep zombie that's right in her face. She swings a claw at the zombie, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. It does not defend. Getting rid of 1. Now, she still has both actions, so disarming that spell, or dispelling that spell really, was not an action. So she can search this room for either traps or secret doors. Let's just see which one she's gonna do. She's gonna do traps, and there are no traps in that room. Just a big bad guy. Well, I guess we could have had her search for treasure in this room too, but it might have opened more cans of worms. All right, back over to Thrackan. We definitely need to get him on the move so that they can get back over there. 3! Thrackan! Come on, man. 1, 2, 3. Get out of here with these low rolls. What are you doing? All right, monster's turn. The only monsters we have on the board are the scary guy down here. Guys? Scary guys? Yeah. Deep Zombie making another move here. The Deep Zombie swings its cleaver at Tiaga, hitting her with a 1. Yeah, there we go. She does not defend the attack. However, we are in crisis here. That was not a very hard attack, but I think it may be a good idea for her to go ahead and use her Dark Wings spell so that she can avoid that damage. So if she casts this, which she is allowed to do even though it's not her turn, cast the spell on an enemy's turn after you have suffered damage, reduce that damage to 0, and move instantly to any unoccupied square that you can see. So she won't lose her demon form, and she can also teleport somewhere helpful. Is there somewhere helpful that she can teleport to, though? Teleporting in the room would be pretty dangerous. There's pretty much nowhere she could go that's out of range of the Witch Lord. We could put her here. She can for sure see that square, and then this kind of blocks line of sight from the Witch Lord, which is smart. He can go ahead and move his 1, but now that he can't see her, he can't cast any of his spells. Let me just want to review what spells he has. Okay, now he could, though. There is one spell which he can cast that does not have to be cast at a hero, so let's go ahead and do that. He is going to cast Summon Undead. This spell conjures a group of undead to surround and protect the spellcaster. Roll 1 movement dice to see how many monsters appear. Go ahead and roll that now. We got a 3. This means he has conjured 3 skeletons and 2 zombies. That is not a little. We're getting one of my pathetic attempts at painting a skeleton. Back when I was a very young boy. Where are the zombies? Here we go. And 2 zombies. Alright, we're filling this room up. And it says it's supposed to surround the spellcaster as well as possible, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh my gosh. The skeleton stuck to my finger and just flew all over the place. Now that's a lot of undead right there. Now I'd say they can move. Right? Now the only guy, the Witch Lord can't move, he's already done his thing. This deep zombie can't do anything else, it's already gone. But all the rest of these undead that just spawned, I'd say they can move, and they can move through other monsters. So first off, 1, 2, and 3. Zombie on Tiaga. Swings its sword and hits her with a critical hit of 2. She blocks 1, but not the other, so unfortunately her attempts to save her demon form were not completely successful. It's a good thing she can get that back pretty easy. But for now, she has lost that spell. Let's see. Regular zombies move, what, 5? Seems like. Yes, 5 is correct. You can get this other guy up there to her as well. 1, 2, and 3. This zombie swings its cleaver at her, and hits her with a 1. She does not block. Ooh, her confidence has been shaken a little bit, it feels like. And let's go ahead and get these other, the other undead won't be able to attack, but let's get them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, I guess we'll just leave this guy here in the corner. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of bad news right there. Okay, back to the hero's turn. It is Mordecai the Wizard, who is also standing right here. Now would be a fantastic time to cast some spells. So he can fire with his wand and cast a spell. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if he can blast a hole in the defenses here. So he'll fire with his wand at that zombie that's standing right in front of Tiaga. He fires a blast of energy, but misses. Now is not the time for that, Mordecai. All right, let's go ahead and get him on a Fire of Wrath spell as well. A fan of flame appears at Mordecai's fingertips. He directs it at the zombie, which is immediately engulfed in flames. The zombie attempts to fight off the flames and is successful. So 2 attempts at killing that zombie, both failed. Ouch. Okay, back up in our other corner of the map, we now have Moonstone the Druid, who is attempting to get back over there, and luckily rolled something pretty decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I hope I did that count right. I can hardly see the squares over there. All right, she's getting a move on, but she's still got a long way to go. Back over here, we are now at Tiaga the Warlock, who needs to kill one of these guys so she can get her demon form back. Let's see if she can manage to do that. What does she have at her disposal? She does have a potion of strength, but is this the time? That's a good question, because she theoretically could take out a zombie without help, but it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to give herself a little bit of extra insurance. They won't be able to hit the Witch Lord anyway, so saving that for him is not really any point. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. I think it's probably kind of important for her to get this kill. So she's going to drink her potion of strength, which allows her to roll 2 extra attack dice just for this one attack right here. She pulls out her wooden staff and takes an extra hard swing at the zombie right in front of her, hitting it with a 3. That's good. It blocks 1, but not the other 2, meaning that it is dead. In consuming this zombie's essence, she regains the ability to cast the demon form spell. That's good news. And with her other action, let's see, there's not really anything that she can do here. Mordecai has better defense than her though, so maybe backing out of the room is actually the smart move. 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and have her do that. Mordecai's got a better odds of defending attacks. Okay, and for the rest of the hero's turn, we have Rogar the Barbarian also up there in the corner trying to get back to help out. Not a bad roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Still going to take them a while to get over there, but they're on the way. Okay. Monster's turn. We have basically just all these undead swarming. The Witch Lord's not going to be able to get into a place that he could see somebody to cast a spell, but that's okay. Let's get this skeleton out of his way so we can make sure he can move. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll just have that one be the one that attacks Mordecai. The skeleton swings its scythe, hitting Mordecai with a critical hit of 2. Mordecai does not defend either attack. This drops him to 7 body points. He must not have been expecting Tiaga to move out of the way. He didn't even know he needed to be on guard. Let's also move our deep zombie, 1 and 2, so that it's ready. So we've got everybody swarmed in this room. The Witch Lord can also move his 1 square per turn. He can't do anything else, but we've got everybody positioned. Now I have no intention of just letting them cheese the door in the door there. That's just kind of how it worked out. I wasn't doing that strategy on purpose, but it made more strategic sense to let Mordecai be the one taking hits. Speaking of him, it is his turn, and he has plenty of stuff left that he can do. Let's see if he can maybe take out 2 Gohan says, I love Gouda. Yes. Let's see if he can take out 2 of these monsters. If he can get lucky this time, unlike the last turn. I'm gonna move these dice out of my way. Morkai swings his wooden staff at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1, which it blocks. Okay, no luck for poor old Morkai. Okay, we'll do the other Fire of Wrath spell. He had 2 of them. Let's see if he can get this. A fan of flame appears at Morkai's fingertips. He directs it at the skeleton, who is immediately engulfed in flames. It attempts to fight the flames off and is successful. No luck for Morkai. Sorry, buddy. But for the second turn in a row, your efforts have been in vain. All right, Moonstone the Druid is up there at the front of the line, and she is trying to get over there so that she can help. Let's adjust the camera here a little bit. She got a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 back into the blue room. So they're on the right track. I'm going to turn her this way. Back down here, we've got Tiago the Warlock, who I think would benefit the most right now from recasting her demon form spell. This allows her to ignore pit traps and also gives her 1 extra attack dice, both long range and close range. She is allowed to keep the spell until she takes damage. However, as you guys just saw, it's pretty easy for her to get it back if she loses it. All she's got to do is kill a monster. Okay, let's see if she can kill this skeleton. She sends a blast of demonic energy at the skeleton, hitting it with a 2. It does not defend, finally getting rid of it, even though Morkai spent a whole turn trying different things. That's all it took. And back up here we have Thraken again, who is still trying. He's all the way up there, kind of in the corner at the top of the map there, trying to get over there to help. Good, he got a 12. That's the kind of roll we want to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good, they are coming fast. We got a whole extra area of the map that nobody has explored yet, and that is going to be a big pain with the Witch Lord following them around. But I don't want to have them just not go over there. All right, monster's turn. Yeah. Again, I've accidentally done the doorway cheese. Oh well, that's just how it worked out. Like I said, I didn't do it on purpose. Let's get the deep zombie up there since it attacks a little harder. The deep zombie swings its cleaver at Morkai, hitting him with a 1. He does block the attack. Good, at least there's been that. Gohan says your plan was like Swiss. Yes, full of holes. That's exactly right. Move that skeleton up there. We'll let the Witch Lord move his 1 square. He might be able to see Morkai, actually. I'd say he probably can. Let's do the pencil thing. If we take a straight object like a pencil and put it between the Witch Lord and Morkai, we need it to not pass through any walls. My hand is kind of blocking the view there. Yeah. It's close. This corner wall is a little weird, but I'd say that's fair. All right, Witch Lord, he has 2 spells left. We're gonna go red or black. Which one is he going for? He's gonna go black, so he is using this spell right here, which is Ball of Flame. A massive ball of fire appears in front of the Witch Lord, who directs it at Morkai. Morkai is immediately engulfed in flames. He tries to fight off the magic flames and is not successful, taking 2 points of damage, which drops him to 5 body points. Lucky he's got a couple of healing spells. Gohan says, yes, he can take a step to the left. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. All right. Where are we at? Yeah, we're at Morkai. That's, I think, honestly, Gohan, what your plan there is probably the best thing for him to do. So he should attack and then move out of the way of that doorway so that the monsters are kind of coming out, out into the doorway. Okay, first off, Morkai swings his wooden staff at the deep zombie, hitting it with a 1. See if we can get rid of this thing. The zombie defends, because of course it did. Can't let Morkai get a successful kill in. No, no, no. Mordecai's going to take a step to the left. Justin says, so many monsters in a small room. Yes, and Gohan says, party time. Absolutely, yes, the Witch Lord here casts Summon Undead, so we've complicated this area a lot.
He throws the best party.
Yeah, the Witch Lord throws the best parties, yes. Oh yes, it is 2 a.m., isn't it? So, Justin, did you get a little bit more sleep in there? I'd be dragging, man. I don't know how you do that. Where are we at? We need to do Moonstone, so let's get her. Yes, she's up here on camera. They're getting close to being able to be down here to help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We almost move her off camera, but not quite. We'll go ahead and readjust here just a little bit. Thraken will be coming down that way as well. Yes, LOL, good. Tiaga the Warlock. Now she's been pretty good about getting rid of the monsters that for some reason Mordecai can't. Let's see if she keeps that up. Tiaga sends a blast of demonic energy at the deep zombie, but misses. Boy, our party is not doing very good down here. No. Yeah, okay. And now she has a fear spell, but she can't cast it on any undead creatures, so it is not going to help her with any of that stuff down there. Darn. Okay, yeah, so they haven't searched this hallway for anything, which is a little bit weird. I guess we might as well do that. What's she going to search in the hallway? She's going to search for traps, and there are none. I didn't realize they hadn't searched anything there. Gohan says, I think this is the longest stretch I've been awake for since Thursday. Woo! Getting some extra sleep, eh? That's always good. I've been feeling like I need that, even though I've theoretically been sleeping just fine. I wake up feeling totally exhausted every day. Okay, Rogar the Barbarian up there. Let's get him moving. Oh, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not feeling it this turn. Monster's turn. The deep zombie can actually walk out here, and who's he going to try and hit? He is going for Tiaga. Okay, that's potentially bad. The deep zombie swings its cleaver at Tiaga, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks, luckily. We'll go ahead and keep crowding everybody up here. The Witch Lord moves out into this room. Now, can he see Tiaga? He definitely can't see Mordecai there, but I think he can. I think he can see Tiaga there. Which means he can use the last of his spells, which is the ultimate scary spell, Command. The spell puts any one hero under the spellcaster's control. The spell can be broken immediately or on a future turn by the hero rolling 1 movement dice for each of their mind points. If a 6 is rolled, the spell is broken. So this is kind of the same as the fear spell as far as how she breaks it, but if she does not break it, then Zargon gets to use her to attack. I guess in this case it would be Mordecai on the next turn. So luckily she gets to roll immediately right now to see if she shakes it off. And if she can, then the Witch Lord is kind of a useless threat for the rest of this. So let's see if she breaks it immediately. Ooh, she does not. She'll get one more chance when it comes to her turn, but if she doesn't roll a 6 again, then Zargon is controlling her, or the Witch Lord, I should say, is controlling her. Justin says, money is an excellent motivator. When I go to work 4 hours early, 8 of the 12 hours is time and a half, and I already make close to 27 an hour. Excellent, man. Yeah, at least there's that. Okay, now that that is taken care of, we are back to Mordecai. So Mordecai right here is going to try again to get rid of this zombie. Now he's got a Tempest spell, but he may actually... Yeah, I mean, especially if she can't break that command, he may need to use his Tempest spells on Tiaga. Okay, Mordecai swings his wooden staff at the deep zombie, missing it. Oh, come on, man. Okay, we're gonna use it up. What's he got? He's got 5 body points. Let's have him use his heal body spell on himself, because he may need as many body points as he can get here coming up. So this is going to heal him 4 body points. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This puts him back up to 9. And let's hope that we can get some more heroes down here. All right. we need to get Moonstone the Druid moving to see if she can come help. Not very quickly. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, luckily, even though she's in shapeshift, she does still have access to her oak wand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and indeed that deep zombie is in range. So the big old bear thing is going to pull a wand out of its fur and send a blast of energy, hitting that deep zombie with a critical hit of 2. It blocks one, but not the other. Taking it out. Bohemia says, interesting, so you interpret the command spell that you take control of the turn of the hero. Yes, that's how I've always done it. Yeah. Interesting. How have you guys done that one? Yeah, I would say that I, as Zargon, would get to take that hero's turn. And I can have her attack the other heroes and stuff. Speaking of that, it is actually her turn. So for each one of her turns now, she gets to roll those 6 dice. And if we roll a 6 on any of the dice, she breaks the spell. But if she doesn't, then I'm going to take her turn as if she's a monster. Okay, well, that was an overwhelming 6 right there. She got 3 6s, which I guess makes sense since she's in demon form, right? Which means she has broken the Witch Lord's command spell. So now if they can just stay away from the guy, he's not that big of a threat. He's out of spells. She can now turn her attention, because again, that was not an action, to getting rid of more of these monsters. So she's going to fire some energy there at that skeleton. She fires a blast of demonic energy at the skeleton, hitting it with 2. And the skeleton blocks both. Wow. Wasn't I saying something earlier about the dice, the attack dice being kind to the heroes? Not anymore. We'll go ahead and use her other action to search for secret doors in this hallway. There are none. Excuse me. And that takes us to Thraken the Barbarian, who honestly isn't really needed over there. We've only got some weak monsters left. They can't harm the Witch Lord. We need to get the rest of the map explored so that they're not missing out on stuff before we end the quest. So let's actually send him towards this other door. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong camera. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to open this door, our secret door that we found earlier. Nothing further to reveal at the moment. Is he going to stop and search for traps? No, he is not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I thought. 6 and 7. And again, nothing further to reveal down this hallway that he is now looking down. But he has a second action. He might as well search it for something. He is going to search for secret doors. And from this square to the end of this hallway, there are no secret doors. Bohemia says, if you take control of a hero not resisting, technically become a monster, so it can be used instantly by Zargon. Yeah. That's true. That's a good point. I theoretically could have used her as a monster on the turn that he cast that spell and she didn't resist it. That's a good point. I should have done that. Yeah. For some reason, I've always played it as I take her turn. But yeah, no, you're right. Her turn should be the monster's turn then. Because that gives her 2 attempts to resist it before Zargon gets to use her. If it's done the way I just did it, which is dumb. Yeah, good point, Bohemius. Absolutely. Okay, so that puts us at the monster's turn. Really, all we can do is get this skeleton out here. Let's see which one is he going to attack. They're trying to get rid of that demon form. That's strategically smart. The skeleton swings its scythe at Tiaga, but misses her. And we'll just kind of pile everybody out towards the door. And again, the Witch Lord can see her, but he can't. Now that he's out of spells, he's got to be close range to do anything. Okay, that brings us back to Mordecai, who is trying so hard to actually take meaningful involvement in this quest. He swings his oak staff at the skeleton, Finally hitting it with a critical hit of 2. I swear if the skeleton defends this hit. Okay, finally, Morkai manages to actually take a monster out. Very good job. Round of applause. You did it. What else can he do? He could theoretically Tempest that zombie right there, but I don't think the skeleton is just going to jump over it and attack him anyway. So I don't know that that's actually going to help. I don't think he can Tempest the Witch Lord either, right? Surely this indicates the Witch Lord is not affected by any weapon or spell. So yeah, he can't Tempest the Witch Lord either. So that spell is going to have to be saved for something else. Ooh, buddy. Okay, so they are still kind of in trouble here. There's really nothing else he can do with his action, though. So we'll go ahead and switch it over to Moonstone, who is almost on camera. Let's just move her, because she's going to get on camera here. We'd like to get them in the room, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and just put her front and center and attack that zombie. She swings a claw at the zombie, hitting it with a 2. The zombie does not defend. And that gives us Tiaga, and again, she can move in there. Yeah, I don't know why she shouldn't. I mean, the Witch Lord can hit her, but he only attacks with 2, so he's not going to hit very hard. 1, 2. Tiaga swings a Demon Claw at the skeleton, but misses. That's what happens when you're in the presence of the Witch Lord. And that leaves us over here with Rogar the Barbarian, who is exploring our other hallway. Is he going to search for traps or move? He's going to search for traps first, and there are none in that same area. So from this square out to the end of the hallway there, no traps. He is then going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nothing else he can do with that turn. So we are at the monster's turn. Back over here, we have a skeleton now attacking Tiaga. The skeleton swings its scythe, hitting her with a critical hit of 2. Okay, maybe it was dumb putting her in there. She takes both hits, dropping her to 6 body points and losing her demon form spell yet again. Again, not that it's hard for her to get back, but I think she can afford to be a little bit reckless with losing that spell. Bohemia says, any interpretation is fine. I'm not telling you to change with my advice. If you take control of the turn of the player, the roll to resist at the end of the activation. Yeah. No, I agree. Now that you pointed that out, I totally agree. Zargon should get to move that hero on the monster's turn so that he at least gets to do something before the hero gets a second chance to knock it out. Yeah, totally. Help me remember that too, so the next time that happens, I'm going to try and remember that. But if I don't, point it out to me again, because I want to do it the way you're saying. That makes more sense. Okay. Yeah, that was the monster's turn. Now, the Witch Lord can also go ahead and move up here and attack her as well. Doesn't do much attacking at close range, but we might as well give it a little bit of a try. The Witch Lord swings his staff at Tiaga, hitting her with a 1, which she does block. Good. Now, if they can punch a hole through that skeleton, they can explore these other rooms, and the Witch Lord will be more of an annoyance than anything else. Now, if he could theoretically soft block them in this other small room if he stands in the doorway and doesn't move, but as Zargon, we can make sure that doesn't happen. That wouldn't help anybody. Okay, back to Morkai. He kinda can't help. He's got Pass Through Rock though, doesn't he? And Veil of Mist. Yeah, you know what? That might actually be their ticket to getting through the Witch Lord here. Either one of those spells would help him. But which one is smarter? At the moment, I'd say Veil of Mist is probably smarter. Now, this is a spell that I hardly ever use. I find myself, actually, I have almost never used this spell. The only thing that it does is allow you to move through monsters on your turn. Now, because I never use this spell, I decided when I retyped all the cards and had them reprinted that I was going to change it just a little bit to give myself a little bit more of a reason to use this. So I added this text at the bottom: casting this spell does not count as an action. Just so that you could cast it, move through a monster, and then still attack it on your turn. So it gives you a little bit more of a reason to do something with it. Because it only lasts for one turn too. So let's go ahead and have Mordecai cast that on himself. He's going to cast Veil of Mist so that he can move through monsters. This will allow him to make this movement. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that he can appear there behind that skeleton and hit it there. Mordecai swings his wooden staff at the skeleton, but misses. Druid, in shapeshift form, can also take a swing at that skeleton. The Druid is going to fire from her wand. Now, she does not benefit from the extra dice because this is close range. So she fires an energy blast from her wand, hitting that skeleton with a critical hit of 2, which it does not defend. Good. We're back to no monsters other than the Witch Lord on the board. But the other thing that she's going to want to do is run past him before he blocks them anywhere. They know at least that there are no traps in the Witch Lord's room there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what's she going to do now that she's in here? Can we even search this room for treasure? Okay, it actually doesn't indicate that you can or can't, so I guess she theoretically could. Okay, so is she going to search for secret doors, search for treasure, or open that door? She is going to search for secret doors in this room and find none. Okay, that takes us to Tiaga the Warlock, who is standing here next to the Witch Lord. There is literally nothing she can do to that guy. So we need to send her either into the small room or into the yellow room where Moonstone went. Let's see what she's going to do. She's going to go with Moonstone. Okay, that's okay, because if Mordecai is the only one who goes into this little room, even if the Witch Lord goes in there after him, he could pass through rock out of there. So no soft lock there. Gohan says, I think she should tickle him. Yeah. She just has to stay here for the rest of eternity, tickling the Witch Lord so he's not a threat. They can't kill him, but they can incapacitate him. That's perfect. I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, is she going to stop here and search for treasure or just leave? Yes, she is going to search for treasure in the Witch Lord's tomb room. Whatever might you find in an evil undead general's tomb? Tiaga is asking the... Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, this is not the card that I expected to draw here. That is wild. Okay. After picking a lock on a strange-looking stone in the wall, you find a small hidden compartment. Inside are 300 gold coins.
You're going to secret stash, man.
So the Witch Lord had his stuff in there, man. Now he's going to be even madder. There are only 2 of those cards in the entire treasure deck, and mind you that for the entire series so far, we have barely made it through half of the treasure deck. So that's a wild pull for the Witch Lord's tomb room. Oh, geez. Okay, now that we're there, Barak the Barbarian is where we're at now. Where is he at? That's right, he's off on his own exploring hallways. Let's get him moving a little bit more. We'll adjust the camera since he's about to come down this hallway over here. 1, 2, 3. There is nothing further to show us right here, but is he going to stop and search for traps? No, he is not. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Luckily, none of those squares were trapped. Now, he does have a second action, so are we doing traps or secret doors? He's doing secret doors. There's also none of those. Bohemian says, yes, is one of those spells I've always cast on somebody else to get them in better position during a fight. Yeah, that makes sense. Again, the way that you've talked about running the wizard first, that makes a lot of sense. The wizard opens the door, sees a whole bunch of trouble, casts that spell on somebody else, then they can get into a good position in the room to help fight. Yeah, absolutely. All right, that takes us to the monster's turn, and the only monster that we have on the board is the Witch Lord, and he can only move 1 square, so he is actually just gonna do this. He can't really do anything right here at the moment, so we are back to Mordecai, who is left to open this door into that small room. Not much going on in this small room. The only thing we find in here is 2 deep skeletons. Not the greatest thing for Mordecai to find, considering he's been having trouble attacking things this turn so far, or this quest so far. Justin said, I've started using the wizard first and it's a game changer. Yeah, definitely agreed. Let's get Mordecai in there. I mean, he might as well. He's still got a healing spell left. He's got a pass through rock spell if he needs a quick getaway. Let's just go ahead and get him in there. So you should have a couple of turns to try and get rid of these guys before the Witch Lord's in there on him. Unless the Witch Lord decides to go after the other 2. Mordecai swings his wooden staff at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. The skeleton defends. Man, he is getting so unlucky with attacks this quest. And he moved and attacked, so he can't do anything else. Okay, the druid, shapeshift druid, is also over here. I don't need to switch cameras. Here she is. There's nothing left to do in the Witch Lord's room now, so she is going to go ahead and open this door into the red room. And there is no further doors. There is, however, 2 bookshelves. We've officially rotated back to the very first bookshelf, I think the very first bookshelf I placed in Midnight Quest, which is also the only piece of furniture that is painted so far. This bookshelf right here. Right here. Oh yeah, you guys can't see the red room, can you? There we go. And another bookshelf down here. Also in this room is a deep mummy. Starting to get pretty crazy with the monsters here. Deep mummy hanging out right in the center of the room. All right. Gohan says, I like that bookshelf. That is a nice bookshelf. Fantastic Shrek reference. Love it. Justin says, great, it's raining. Yeah, it has been here in town too. Moonstone, what do we got going on? She hasn't actually done anything yet. She just opened that door. So first action, is it going to be search for traps, or is she just running in there to fight that mummy? She's going to search this room for traps, and there are no traps in this room. Now she could shoot that mummy from where she's at. That's probably the best option she's got. She doesn't benefit from the extra dice, but right at the moment, getting some damage on that guy is a little bit more important. So Moonstone fires a blast of energy from her oak wand, but misses. Never mind. Tiago the Warlock is also in this yellow room here. Now, since Moonstone did her the favor of searching for traps, she can get in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, unfortunately, she didn't get close enough to the mummy to hit at close range. Oh, but honestly, she doesn't attack better long or close range, so it doesn't actually matter. Tiaga sends a blast of energy from her wand. Also missing. This mummy must be full of holes. Or it's, well, no, it wouldn't be quick. It's a deep monster.
You think they were stormtroopers before?
Yeah, these guys must be stormtroopers, because their aim is garbage. Okay, over to Thraken, who's just kind of whistling as he travels the halls danger-free, having no idea that the rest of his team members are in mortal peril. Here he goes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. He is now down here in this hallway. Now he can see one thing as he looks down this hallway. Okay, I lied, 2 things. One is that wall right there I just placed, and the other is a door right next to that wall. Finally, he has a goal. But Thraken, this is a new hallway that has not yet been searched for anything. Are you going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, he is. Merlin says, haha. Oh, man. Yes, okay, so from where he is standing all the way to the door, there are no traps. Monster's turn. Over here, we have a new mess of crap to take care of. Let's go ahead and take care of the Witch Lord first, because we don't know what he's, gonna do. Is he gonna go after the Druid and the Warlock, or is he gonna go after Merlin? Not Merlin, Mordecai. Okay, he's going after the Druid. He can only move one square, but he is headed that direction. Very slowly, he's coming for him. Okay, down here in the red room, we're gonna go ahead and have the mummy, deep mummy here, attack Tiaga. Slow monsters, but with hard attack. Yeah, the mummy hits her with a 2. And Tiaga, that's right, Tiaga kind of has garbage defense. And she does not defend either one of them. This takes her down to 4 body points. Ooh, we're getting to a scary point here. Luckily, Moonstone is following her in there, and Moonstone has a whole bunch of healing stuff, so we shouldn't have a problem. But that could be bad quick. Merlin's got extra laughing. All right, Deep Skeleton on Mordecai. The Deep Skeleton swings its scythe, hitting Mordecai with a 1. Oh. Which he does not defend. Luckily, Mordecai has not taken much damage. This only drops him to 8. Oh, that's right, he used a healing spell on himself. That's why he's so high still. The other Deep Skeleton, they only move 2. Yes, okay, the other Deep Skeleton's not going to make it to him. 1, 2. It's going to be a threat on the next turn. Okay, back to the heroes. It is actually Mordecai's turn. We're right there. Let's go ahead and take care of this. He does have a couple of Tempest spells. If he wants to try and get rid of this, might not be a bad idea. First off, he swings his wooden staff. Missing again. Come on. It's so frustrating. Okay, we're going to go ahead and have him cast a Tempest spell on the skeleton that was moving towards him, which essentially just means that skeleton is going to miss the next monster's turn. That is all that that's going to do. I'm going to leave it here so that I remember that I cast it, or else I'm going to be super confused. Okie dokie, that brings us to the Druid, who is also on camera here. She is in the doorway. She does benefit from being close range, so let's see if we can get her up to that mummy. 1, 2, 3. She swings her claws at the deep mummy, hitting it with a 2. That's good. She might knock it out in 1. And indeed, it does not defend anything. She took it out. Good. Okay. It's too bad she's not adjacent to Tiaga, or we could have her pass a healing potion. So we might have her use a healing spell on Tiaga, but she can't do it on this turn. It is Tiaga's turn. They've searched this room for traps, so let's see what else Tiaga is going to do. We need to search for secret doors and treasure. Or she could leave. Of course, she can't get past the Witch Lord, so honestly, leaving at this particular moment is not an option. They're going to have to bait him down into here so that they can run back past him. Okay, secret doors or treasure, Tiaga? We're going for treasure. Let's see what she finds. I think there's a special treasure in here. Am I remembering that right? Yes, the first hero to search for treasure will find the Wizard Staff artifact hidden behind the bookcase. Excellent. Time to buy a monster, says Justin. Yes. This long ancient staff glows with a soft blue light. It can only be used by a wizard. The wizard staff gives you 3 attack dice, but takes great focus to wield effectively. Anytime you have less than your maximum number of body points, the wizard staff only gives you 2 attack dice. By the way, I changed that. I'm sure Bohemius noticed that immediately. I eliminated diagonal weapons. I determined that having a long-range weapon makes having a diagonal weapon pointless. So any weapon whose whole thing was diagonal attack, usually I did that. If you are at your full health, then you have a little bit extra attack. So Tiaga can't use this, but she could hand it off to Mordecai or Atreus, and that would be helpful to either one of them. She'll probably hand it to Mordecai since he's the one in the quest. Kind of took some Zelda inspiration there for that. A lot of the Zelda games, if you're at full health, then the Master Sword will shoot a beam of light when you swing it, and that kind of felt like a neat idea. This doesn't shoot a beam of light, but it's a little stronger. Okay, Tiaga, that was all she did, right? She searched for treasure. So she actually can also search for secret doors, which is good because in this room, and Gohan, don't get too excited, there are 2 secret doors. I know. I mean, Stephen Baker's playing fast and loose with these secret doors. It's getting out of hand. There is, first off, a secret door leading over into this yellow room. He put a bunch of exclamation points. And also a secret door leading back into the stairway room, providing the heroes a much needed way out of this quest. Oh geez, okay, that takes us over to Thraken, who is still just hanging out over here in this hallway doing his own thing while everybody else is close to dead. We got a dice that did not want to go the way it was supposed to. 8, he moves. Now, did he search for traps? Yes, he did. So is he going to search for secret doors also? No, he is not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, I almost moved him in extra space. Okay, there we go. Yes. All right. And nothing else to do on this turn except secret doors. So he's going to search while he's here and in this same area from corner to the wall that we are not seeing on camera right now. That one, there are no secret doors. Just to offset. Finding 2 of them. All right, what do we have going on for the monster's turn? Of course, we've got the Witch Lord moving his extremely threatening 1 square. Man, that was the most threatening 1 square movement anybody's ever seen over here. Then over here we've got our deep skeletons, one of which can't do anything because of the Tempest. We'll go ahead and discard that. And the other one is going to swing its scythe at Morkai, hitting him with a 2. He blocks the attack. Good job, Morkai. Things are turning around. All right, that puts us right back at old Morkai right there, which he does actually have a second Tempest spell, so he can cheese that monster again if he wants to. First off, he is going to swing his wooden staff at the deep skeleton right in front of him, and to nobody's surprise, he misses for the 500th turn in a row. No damage on the deep skeleton. He's going to have somebody come over there and help him. Sheesh. All right, well, he might as well save himself some body points. He's going to cast his other Tempest spell on that other deep skeleton again so that it still can't do anything on its next monster's turn. But after that, he's going to have to start pulling his weight, I'm afraid, because these 2 can't get back over there to him while the Witch Lord is in the way. Oh man. Okay, Druid, there's nothing left to do in this room. They know now that they can get out. We might as well explore what's over here in this yellow room. Oh man, did you finish already?
I did.
Okay, everybody check this out. We've got Treyas the Wizard has been on the operating table getting painted this quest. So here he is. Oh yeah, fancy. There he is back. I like his little, his like short cloak.
Yeah. It's not like that. It's a long cloak on the card. But...
Did he really only have the goatee with the mustache? I thought he had a whole beard. Oh yeah, now that you say that, I can totally see that. And the flame is neat with the dark on the bottom and like the yellow near the top.
I did that on a staff too. It was only gold on the staff or on the card, but
Nice.
I painted it like the flame on the staff.
That's super neat. Bohemia says nice. You want Robert Tylen, or are you done for the night?
How close are you to done?
I'm getting there.
Okay, I'm probably like done.
Okay, yeah, he's almost for sure going to go on tomorrow night's quest, too.
I'll probably do the barbarian or something like that.
Yeah, Barbarian or the Druid. Okay, I've totally lost where we were. That was Morkai over there, wasn't it? So that, excuse me, puts us at the Druid. Yeah, we were talking about coming over here into this yellow room. Okay. Get her moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. I forgot. I forgot 2 things. She has a pass-through rock spell. She can actually get up there and help Morkai. Is that smart? Mordecai is struggling real hard. It's probably smart. She also kind of needs to heal Tiaga, though, because Tiaga's beat up. Yeah, that's a tough one. Okay. Did we roll that 6 that is in there is what we rolled for her? Yeah, because I started moving her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're going to do a complicated movement. Complicated movement. Here's what we're going to do. She is going to start her turn by casting Pass-Through Rock on herself. This allows her to move through walls, traps, and monsters. Gohan says another left turn. On this turn. Now, the thing is, if you end in solid rock, you're dead immediately. But if you're going somewhere that you know is okay, then you can. We are going to cast that. We're going to use the 6 that we rolled for her already. We're going to first move her 1 square to the left, to my left. This puts her adjacent to Tiaga, which allows her to hand off a potion of healing. Now, since handing items from person to person is not an action, this means she can continue her movement. So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5 puts her in this room. Now she can't attack yet, but she is in there to help. Hopefully that doesn't feel too illegal. Okay, now Tiaga can drink that potion. So I erased it off Moonstone's paper, but I didn't write it on Tiaga's because I knew she's going to drink it immediately. She can heal herself up here. 2, 3, and 4. This puts her back up to 8 body points, and she can move. Now, drinking a potion is also not an action. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she can move this, move over here and open this door. And right at the moment, there's nothing in there. Is she going to stop and search for traps? No, she is not. What did we move her? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5. Luckily, that square is not trapped. She can now use her second action to search for traps, search for secret doors, or search for treasure. And she is going for secret doors in this room. There are none other than the one that she just walked through. Back over to Rogar the Barbarian, who is getting real close to meeting back up with the heroes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what we can reveal to him in this 2-wide hallway that is right here is the last monster, unless we get some sort of wandering monster. The last monster in this quest, which is the gargoyle. Hanging out right here. Gohan says lame. Yeah. Oh no. Big old gargoyle, not good. Okay, now, Thraken is out of movement, but he does have a bow. Yes, he does. So he doesn't like to use it, but he has one for instances just like this, when a gargoyle has popped out of nowhere and he does not have the movement to reach it. Thraken puts an arrow in his bow and fires, hitting the gargoyle with a 2. That's a pretty good hit right off the bat. Gargoyles have lots of defense, though. The gargoyle blocks one, but not the other. We'll go ahead and put a damage marker down, but it is not dead. Monster's turn. We've got some interesting things to do here on the monster's turn. Since we're already pointed at this area, let's go ahead and take care of this first. The gargoyle, 1, 2, 3, moves up to Thraken and swings its serrated sword at him, hitting him with a 2. Oops. I bumped my dice cam. He blocks one, but not the other. This drops him to 7 body points. Over here, we have a couple of monsters and a couple of heroes. Now, this skeleton here in front of Moonstone cannot attack because of Mordecai's Tempest spell, but the Whirlwind abates. The other deep skeleton, however, is absolutely able to attack. Swings its scythe at Mordecai, hitting him with a 1. Mordecai blocks the attack just barely. And good old Witch Lord can boop his 1 square. Justin says, I'm going to try clearing a dungeon, then going back to search for treasure in the room so I don't have to deal with roaming monsters on top of regular monsters. Yeah, not a bad idea, especially in the real rules. Body points are kind of a scarce resource. Okay, Morkai, we are back to the hero's turn. Morkai, can we please, please, please kill this guy? Morkai is down to 2 of his spells, Pass Through Rock and Water of Healing. He does not have any other way to help himself attack. He needs to just kill this guy. It's a skeleton, okay? 1 body point and 2 defense. Morkai swings his wooden staff, hitting the skeleton with 1. At least he's managed to hit it this turn. And it does not block. Oh, jeez. The deep skeleton is dead. Morkai. Jeez. Okay. We're also going to use his other action to go 1, 2, and move him into the small room, because that small room also was not search for treasure. He can't do it on this turn, but we'll go ahead and position him to be able to do it. Moonstone then is able to attack the other deep skeleton. Being in her shape-shifted form, she's a little stronger. She swings a claw at the deep skeleton, hitting it with a 2. It does not defend, luckily taking it out before it really gets to do anything. It spent its life in a dark room alone with another, well, I guess with another skeleton, so not totally alone. And then the moment that a hero appears, it gets stuck in a whirlwind until it is killed. Justin says, gotta backtrack out of the dungeon anyway. Might be more efficient. Yeah. Okay, with Moonstone's second action, this room actually has not been searched for anything. There's no point in searching for traps. And honestly, there's no point in searching for secret doors. Where would it go? They've been everywhere around this. So let's go ahead and just get her searching for treasure. And let's see what she finds in the small room. Moonstone finds a potion of strength. Boy, we're finding all sorts of good stuff in this dungeon. Go ahead and mark that on her sheet and leave it there. The Witch Lord had some spoils in here. Okay, Tiaga the Warlock is now down here in this yellow room. And she has only searched for secret doors, so she could search for traps, treasure, or leave to go help with that gargoyle. And she is going to go treasure. Let's see what she finds in this room. She finds a potion of defense. I'm telling you what. We have gotten all of the monsters and traps out of the way in the last couple of quests, and we've hit a good We've hit a good pocket of treasure. This is why I shouldn't be saying stuff. Okay. Let's see. That was only her first action, so for her second action, she can either search for traps or risk it and leave the room. She is going to search for traps with her second action. There are no traps in that room. Okay, this takes us back to Rogar the Barbarian. Now he is on camera, but let's go ahead and shift to this camera because it's a little bit better of an angle. He doesn't have anything to aid him, he just needs to kill this guy. Thraken swings his broadsword, hitting the gargoyle with another 2. He might actually take it out with this, if it doesn't defend anything. And it doesn't. Okay, the dice don't lie. This gargoyle decided not to be too much of a pushover. Thraken destroys the barbarian. Yeah, what did I say? The barbarian? It's getting too late. I'm losing my ability to speak. I'm gonna have another 10, 11, 12, 15 incident. We better finish this quest. All right, Thraken can also move on this turn. So 1, 2, 3. We'll go ahead and open the door and kind of close the loop here. Is he worried about those spots being trapped? No, he is not. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Whoa. Giving him his first glance of the Witch Lord over here on the other camera. And of course, I have to imagine that Tiaga tells him that they can't do anything about it, and they just have to leave. Okay, monster's turn. It's just the Witch Lord now. And he is still moving his slow way back in there. And they are still going to have to do a little bit of baiting him to get out of the way. Morkai can pass through rock, but Moonstone can't now. So that's a little bit annoying. He can't do anything else, though. So Morkai, speaking of Morkai, it is his turn, and this is the last room in the quest that has not been searched for treasure. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way and then get them out of there. What does Morkai find in that room? A wandering monster. Yeah, that sounds about right. Poor Morkai has just gotten no breaks this whole quest. He's going through his own trial here. Now, luckily, again, just like last time, the wandering monster in this quest is just a skeleton, so it's not a big deal, but he has been struggling with those. The wandering skeleton immediately swings its scythe at Mordecai, hitting him with a 1. Which he does defend, but again, just barely. Clearly, he was not ready for that. Now, that was his first action, so he can attack back. Mordecai swings his wooden staff at the skeleton and misses. We need to get him using his wand instead of his staff. Maybe that's the problem. He keeps missing because we're not letting him do long range. Wizard's not super great at close combat. Okay, Moonstone the Druid is standing right here in this room. Nothing else to do in there that would be worthwhile. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and see if she can get rid of this guy. Moonstone swings her claws at the skeleton, hitting it with a 2, which it does not defend. Moonstone to the rescue as per usual. There we go, resetting my skeleton drawers. And Tiago the Warlock, is there anything left to do in this room? No, there sure is not. So it is time to leave. Yeah, let me get this camera out of the way. We shouldn't need it. Move this camera instead. Get this out of the way. Yeah, 12, that'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4 allows her to open the door into the blue room, which is the stairway room. So, is she just gonna leave? I guess we didn't need to have her drink that potion after all, did we? Yeah, I think she should. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and have Tiaga exit the quest on the stairs. We just need to get everybody out of there. Thraken, same. We are gonna go ahead and have Thraken at least try to exit the quest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, indeed he does. This leaves us with the monster's turn. Now the Witch Lord is... Let's see, he's not going to go for heroes on the stairs. Yeah, I guess monsters can attack heroes on stairs, but he's probably going to go for the heroes that are left in the quest. Yeah, that's not great for us from a logistical standpoint, but he's just going to be more in the way. That's it for him, though. So let's see what Mordecai... Now, Mordecai can pass through rock, but Moonstone is going to be stuck. We need to bait him out of the way, is what we need to do. How can we get this guy out of the way in a way that's not dumb? Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do. We could probably go ahead and end the quest because similar to other things that we've done, we could say eventually they're gonna Gohan says Kit Kats, yes. Reese's Pieces. Ooh, a piece of candy. Eventually they're gonna get past him. So this is a little bit of a moot point, but let's go ahead and actually move Moonstone out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like completely, totally out of the way. Actually, we should have moved Mordecai first, but whatever. And then we are going to have Mordecai cast his Pass Through Rock spell on himself so that he can move through this wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he can just move down here. Although, is this still going to have the Witch Lord? Yeah, let's actually have him move this direction, so that the Witch Lord will start following him this direction. I think that's the way to go to get him kind of out of the way. Okay, since we flip-flopped their turn order by accident, this means the Witch Lord is now just going to move back. It's almost too bad he doesn't move more than one square. And then it is Mordecai's turn. So let's again just kind of bait the Witch Lord out of the doorway. We'll let Moonstone move, but just a little bit, because we don't want to draw the Witch Lord's attention back over there to her. Then he's going to move another square. It actually doesn't really make sense for Mordecai to move. We'll just move him 1. Now, technically, the Witch Lord is out of the way. Oh, Moonstone got a garbage roll. 1, 2, 3. We just don't want to draw his attention. He's totally focused on getting to Mordecai extremely slowly. Whoops. We're just going to keep Mordecai backing out of the way. but technically he's out of the way of the doorway for Moonstone to get through there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So yeah, we're good. The Witch Lord moves here. Mordecai can, oh geez, 1, 2. All right. This is why we're checking. Moonstone can actually leave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Monster turn, the Witch Lord can actually attack Mordecai, hitting him with a 1, which Mordecai defends. Can we get something other than 2 this time, Wizard, my buddy? Oh, 4, yeah, that's real funny. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Jeez. I mean, so the Witch Lord moves 1, and then Mordecai gets onto the stairs. Okay, so we're done. What a thrilling, extremely slow speed chase at the end. Yeah. Gohan says the dice got jokes. Yeah, no kidding. All right, so that is it for the quest tonight. Wow. This is usually a fairly quick quest. It was not tonight. We used pretty much our entire 3 hours, and we had a few heroes getting down there on health, that's for sure. So, as I mentioned a couple of times throughout the stream, this was the first in a trilogy of quests that is going to end our first book. Book 1 out of 14. Gohan says it's better that way. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We had some drama, which is always good. It's not, we don't want it to be too easy. So, we have now awoken one of the most dangerous enemies of the Empire and one of the lieutenants of Zargon, the Witch Lord, who is going to be gaining more and more power the longer we let him sit. Now, we mentioned that he can only be damaged by the magical sword called the Spirit Blade, so tomorrow's quest is going to be a group of heroes going off to find that Spirit Blade. And then Monday night's quest will be the conclusion to Book 1, where they come back here to take care of this guy now that they have the blade that can actually get rid of him. So we are kind of on our ending arc for Book 1. We are definitely not anywhere near the ending arc for the campaign. We still have a long, long way to go before we are actually facing Zargon himself. But now that we have awoken one of his most powerful allies, we got to get that taken care of. So let's get some stuff cleaned up here. The Druid spells and the Warlock spells. Mordecai actually used everything but that one Water of Healing spell, which is nice. Let's also take care of the Wizard's Staff. So Tiaga found it, but she can't use it. So I think let's give that to Mordecai. That'll give him a slight boost in attack. As long as he's at full health, he'll swing 3 instead of 2. And then we can sell his wooden staff. That's not going to get us very much, but we might as well. Yeah, it's going to give us 75 coins. So we're going to add 275 coins to the Heroes Community Wallet. The 200 coins comes from Mentor. Actually, we need to add a little bit more than that. So 50 coins per surviving hero gives us 200. 75 coins from selling Mordecai's staff. And also an additional 200 coins from the Emperor for safely returning the Star of the West. So 475 coins we need to add, and I'm going to bring up a calculator so that I don't have to do math live. There we go, 895 coins we're up to. And I'm excited to see which hero ends up with the Spirit Blade. Okay, let's talk skill sets, and then we will get out of here. So as longtime viewers know, I'm sure at the end of every quest, the heroes that survive the quest get 2 skill set points, which they have to spend immediately on one of 6 categories. There are 10 levels in each category, and each hero class benefits from those 10 levels a little differently. There's not an actual reward for every single level, but there's always something good for maxing a character out in any of those categories. So, Mordecai is first on our list, and what bad luck this guy had this time. Last quest he went on, he did pretty good. This quest, he was just getting garbage dice rolls over and over and over and over. So, looking forward to seeing him have a better quest. Gohan says, cheater! And Gramina, he's lucky to be alive. Yeah, that is no kidding. I mean, he was just missing over and over and over and over. As if not for Moonstone bailing him out more than once, he'd have been dead. So let's see, his first skill set point tonight is going to go towards the machinery level 1. Now I know he doesn't get anything till level 3 there, where he gets toolkit disarm. His second point then is going to go towards combat level 1, which I think is also nothing for a wizard. Correct, he doesn't get anything until level 5. But he gets a few really good things in combat, even though as a wizard, combat is not the thing that you'd think he'd go down. Eventually, he's going to get some good stuff there. So, no benefits for him tonight, but he's setting himself up. He was the distraction. Yeah, you're right, Gohan. Yeah. Moonstone, the druid. Now, she did good. She actually managed to keep her shapeshift the entire quest. She didn't get hit once. So you could argue that Moonstone was kind of the MVP here. She did go off down that big dead-end hallway with Thraken right at the beginning, which wasn't her fault, but she ended up getting kind of taken out of the quest for the first half. But when she came back strong. Yeah, we need to mark off quest 12 for her. Let's see, her first point tonight is going to be Education level 2, which gives her an extra mind point. This boosts her up to level, 5 mind points, giving her a better chance of fending off attacks like Fear and Command. Her second point is going to go towards Magic Skill level 4. That's good. What'd she get? Druid at 4. This allows her a specialty set. Oh, this is cool. I've been waiting for somebody to get one of these. Okay, I need some votes. Anybody who happens to be watching right now, there are 3 specialty sets and she needs to pick one of them. Spells of Protection, Spells of Detection, and Spells of Darkness. So you guys vote in there. It looks like at the moment we got 4 viewers, so if everybody that's watching, if you're able to, throw a vote in here on which one of those 3 you like. Spells of Protection, Spells of Detection, and Spells of Darkness. She gets one of those. I'm going to set her page aside and we'll go to the next guy until those votes come in. Tiaga the Warlock is the next one that we're going to take a look at. She also did really good this quest. Now she had to take a healing spell, or a healing potion at one point, so her body point total ended up being okay by the end, but she did get pretty beat up kind of in the middle of the quest. But she did a really good job keeping demon form and contributing. Gohan says Protection. Anybody else got any input on that? They're all pretty equally good. Bohemia says Detection. All right, now we need a tiebreaker. Merlin, are you still in here? Justin probably getting ready to start work. Let's see. Tiaga's first point tonight is going to be Education level 2, which gives her another mind point. Now, she didn't really need another mind point, but it kind of makes sense because she had both Fear and Command cast on her this quest. So it kind of makes sense that she would be thinking, I better make sure that this doesn't happen to me again. And her second point is going to go towards Machinery level 1, which again is nothing for her. We might need a tiebreaker for the Protection or the Detection. Okay, and then Thraken, who spent a whole lot of this quest moseying down hallways with nothing in them, still ended up doing a big part considering he took out that gargoyle single-handedly. Nobody helped him with that. He took it out in 2 turns. He didn't hardly get hit by it, so can't take that away from him. He definitely did good with that. Gohan says, if he says Detection, go with that. I don't know nothing. Well, they're all pretty equally good. Let's see. Thraken. His first point tonight is going to go towards Magic Memorization level 2. I'm sure that's nothing for a barbarian. Yes, he needs to pair Memorization level 3 with Skill level 4 to get something. And his second point is going to be Education level 2. Definitely good for him. That's another mind point, which puts him up to 3 mind points. Barbarians are particularly susceptible to those kinds of spells. Okay, we need a tiebreaker. Detection or Protection?
Protection.
Protection. Savannah has sided with Gohan. we're going to give Moonstone the Spells of Protection. Now she's getting access to these, to be clear. So this does not change the number of spells that she takes into the quest. She's still going to get her 3 druid spells, and then her 1 extra spell that she gets is going to be randomized between the normal Hero Quest spells, and now also the 3 protection spells are going to be possibilities for her to get a hold of. Once she gets pick 1 spell, it will be a lot easier for her to actually get some of those spells. And she's going to keep building the number of spells she gets too. So it's still going to be a little bit of a toss-up at this moment whether she actually gets those spells, but it is going to add some new spells that I've used before, but not super often. So it's exciting even for me to see any of those 3 in use. All right, that is going to do it for us. Oh yes, Bohemia says detection helps to keep up the bear form. Yes, now I think she gets access to more than one of those. I'm pretty sure, I'd have to look at that. I've kind of forgotten who gets access to what, but I think it's only the wizard, maybe the warlock too, that ends up with access to all of it. But yes, very exciting quest tonight, and indeed an exciting set of quests. So tomorrow night, come back here right at midnight, just like usual, so that we can do the quest for the Spirit Blade, so that the heroes can actually come back and take care of this guy right here. For good, question mark? I'm excited to get into the end of the book so that we can get into our second book finally too. So really exciting. Thank you guys as always for tuning in. Gohan says he just needs a hug. He's not really that bad of a guy. That's probably true.
They came in and robbed his wall safe.
Yeah, they robbed him. No wonder he's mad. Yeah. They took all his potions and they took his 300 coins that he had saved up.
They invaded his home and then invaded and stole out of his wall safe.
Really? They broke their way into his bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. He wants vengeance.
Yes. Oh man, so we are getting near the end of our first book, and I am excited to get into those quests and also get into the second book. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. As always, fantastic conversation in here. Really enjoy talking with all you guys. We had all of the usual suspects tonight, which is fantastic. So thanks to Justin Pollitt and Merlin and Gohan and Bohemius. All you guys are awesome, and I really appreciate the company, and really appreciate you guys tune in. Hope you like what you see and what you hear, and we will catch you again tomorrow night at midnight. See you guys then.